Dude puts himself as investor for every stock he owns. Well, that doesn't seem right. I don't know. I was CEO of a company that did $80 million a year in revenue. This was my weekly schedule. You don't have to work 12 plus hours a day to be effective. 11 a.m. to 2 to 3. Oh, geez, okay. I mean, I agree. You shouldn't have to work 12 hours a day to get results. But damn, I've got a sneaky suspicion that my voice is going to change at least a couple times during this particular video. Oh well, you get to see my recovery in real time. Or rather, you get to hear it. I got rejected by Apple. I got rejected by Facebook. I got rejected by Google. I was jobless. I could have given up all hope. But I took it as a sign to take the leap of faith. So I started my own enterprise. Then I got rejected by the end consumer. Now I'm jobless and broke. Moral of the story, keep yourself hydrated. That doesn't make any sense. Neither do all the inspiring stories on LinkedIn. How many supposed inspiring stories are there? It's LinkedIn. When someone crashed into my parked car this morning, it made me think, like everyone else on LinkedIn, can I use this personal event to promote myself or make some point about business? As it turns out, no, I can't. Well, that's because you're just not using your brain. Come on. Hey, remember, I was rejected by 86 companies before I was rejected by my 87th. Are you going for 88? Corporate executives really want employees to know they have feelings too. So they're showing them, sometimes with teary selfies on LinkedIn. When your boss is crying, but you're the one being laid off. Yeah, I'm sure it's way harder to fire someone than to be fired. He wants you to know his wife looks good. Okay, Shakira, 45, great, she's doing all right. Good for her, I guess. My wifey can hang with these young guns. Not too bad for 49 years old. Haha. Why does that picture feel like it wasn't meant to be shit? That doesn't look like... No, I don't think that... Wow. All right. Doug, what the hell? Use your PTO. It's not like an arcade. You can't get a bigger stuffed bear by saving your tickets. Use it. I used to give all of my PTO to my coworkers because it would make my grind harder. I gave my coworkers chlamydia once. Iris Nina, this is an insane thing to put on LinkedIn. Impressive. I do gotta say, that is impressive. If I had to choose between winning $1.2 billion in the lottery or 100,000 LinkedIn followers, I'm choosing option B every time. Never underestimate the power of a personal brand online. Oh, I'm not underestimating anything but your intelligence. Nah, stuff like this is definitely satire. Right, Dennis? Dennis? A micromanager is someone you pay to watch your top talent walk away. Yeah! This morning, my son was building a Lego tower in the living room. Well, he accidentally bumped into the tower, and hundreds of Legos came crashing to the floor. He started to cry. I ran in the room. Oh no! What happened? Dad, I knocked all the Legos down. I failed. I said, that's okay, pal. Dad's going to use this as a motivational post on LinkedIn about failure. My son, with tears in his eyes, said, what? Huh? What's LinkedIn? I'm little and sad. I said, I know, bud, but Dad needs more professional karma for this. People always tell sad, made-up stories about their kids and use it for likes on LinkedIn. And I'm gonna do the same. My son said, I don't know what you're talking about, Dad. Will you help me rebuild my Lego tower? I said, not now, little man. Dad's writing a LinkedIn post and trying to think of some solid hashtags that will keep the economy moving and motivate tens of people. Really, tens of people? Okay, sure. It's with great pleasure that I announce I will be joining the company of my dreams. Cringe. I do hate LinkedIn. I have one, but that place is pathetic. Hey LinkedIn, I think I'd pay $8 a month to get rid of the fake inspirational posts, the hospital pictures, the crying CEOs, and all of the other, I don't usually share personal stuff, but posts. Think about it, dude, they'd make a lot of money. If they could do this, they would make so much. Business class is great, but today we made a pact, and that's by 35 years of age, we will only fly by private jet. Second pact by age 40, we'll own 2 of them. Brothers building generational wealth. That's business class on your flight? Why does it look terrible? Also, I'm sorry. Did you get those suits from Etsy? I went to a wedding reception a few weeks ago, and 5 people I had never met said, "Are you Mitch Whiting from LinkedIn? The first time I thought, wow, what are the odds to run into someone from LinkedIn? By the fifth time, I had begun to understand the power of building a personal brand. Didn't South Park, just have an episode about personal brands? Maybe not making fun of LinkedIn directly, but damn. And then the wedding cake clapped. This was the top answer over the weekend. What are you convinced people are pretending to enjoy? Oh, well, yeah. I don't know anybody that's ever used it that's like, oh yeah, I'm always on LinkedIn, man. I love that place. Manager sends ex-employee unhinged LinkedIn message at 4 a.m. All right, let's see just how over the top this is. Wow. It's a shame to think that you've turned into the kind of person that you have. I always detected a selfish and opportunist side when you interned for me at blah 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 back in 2017. But for you to actually ignore a message from a former superior is beyond low. I wasn't messaging to beg for anything. I was simply congratulating you, and you've ignored me. I hope you're part of the Google layoffs, and may karma treat you deservingly, both personally and professionally. Wow, the balls on this message. No, really. Seriously, if this person is currently working anywhere, they could get themselves fired with this one, dude. Also, come on. Oh no, I ignored a message from someone who used to be my boss. Shoot, isn't that against the law or something? Damn it, you have to respond to all former bosses. Just a word of advice. I've been applying to jobs every day for 3 months. Have had over 6 web interviews. Results? Not one job. Considering homelessness. Is anyone else dealing with a bad job market? This is probably a post that a prospective recruiter would not like to see. Just a word of advice. It's reality. I'm not going to sit here and act like everything is dandy when it's not. Yes, everyone has difficulties to deal with in their lives. Just giving some useful advice. Great advice, John. When facing homelessness, simply shut the hell up about it. Problem solved. John, you're one of the most tone-deaf people I've ever seen. Your lack of ability to read the room is astounding. I, too, hope that someday, if you ever have to deal with possible homelessness, that you, too, shut the f*** up about it. I actually think we would all really love that. LinkedIn has sure turned into a war zone. Work-life balance in your 20s is an easy way to guarantee a mediocre career. Wow. Woo, okay, what's this great response from Michael Beveridge? I keep a jar of old farts that just smell so bad. Oh man, they just stink. I don't know why I keep them. And I usually start my day by cracking open the lid, just a scooch, and huffing a big lungful. Why? So I start my day with the worst thing happening early. This means my day can only get better, right? Sigma grind mentality. But yeah, anyway, today I ran out of jars and just read your post, and it had the exact same effect as my fart jars. Cheers! Yeah, I don't like people that are probably already successful to a certain degree and not really having to worry, telling other people in a similar age group to themselves that they shouldn't have a life. No, you might think that's not what he said. Work-life balance in your 20s is an easy way to guarantee a mediocre career. Yeah, the hell it is. This dude is very heavily implying you should actually just work constantly. Living? Ha! Go to work. Why are we losing employees? Gee willikers, I have no idea. When you're 22 and new in your job, throw yourself into it. Eat well and stay fit. But put in the 18-hour days for it. What? 18-hour days for 4 to 5 years. I see a lot of youngsters who watch random content all over and convince themselves that work-life balance, spending time with the family, rejuvenation, blah, 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 is important. It is, but not that early. I wish I could spit on you. That early? Worship your work, whatever it is. The flex you build in the first 5 years of your career carries you for the rest of it. That is so not true. Don't do random what? Take it on the chin and be relentless. You'll be way better for it. Kinda sounds like you're not happy because someone told you something similar when you were younger. And now that you're not young anymore, you want other young people to suffer in the same way you did. So we're all unhappy. I'm not gonna live that way. And I hope nobody else has to. Hey, you're very popular in a Reddit community called LinkedIn Lunatics. If you read the content over there and you believe what they say, I'd be happy to block you and erase you from my life. Oh no! Whatever will I do? Not read your psychobabble anymore? My second grader has 5 video meetings per day. 5. At one point he goes, I think this one could have been an email. So I guess he's ready for the corporate world. Aw, sweetie. No, that's not true. Okay, but for real though, why does your second grader allegedly have 5 video meetings a day? What for? Your second grader? What the hell's going on? What business are they running? World's fastest recruiter. Hi, any chances you're open to new opportunities? I have a SharePoint developer opening with a client who has competitive compensation and an unbeatable benefit package. Would you like to see the job description? Why, yes, I would be interested in seeing more. Hi there, thanks for your response. Unfortunately, this position has been filled. I'm happy to reach out if we receive similar positions in the future. This person's definitely a bot, right? Like they would have to be. Also, competitive compensation? More like you're gonna try to pay me as little as you can legally get away with. We all know how this works, okay? Dear recruiters, you are not less than God. When we can refer doctors as God, then why not recruiters? They call every eligible candidate for a life-changing opportunity. Agree? Wow. 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 Did you really unironically post something comparing yourself to godliness because you're a recruiter? Okay, I'm happy to share that I'm starting a new position as associate at Pretty Little Marketer. Okay. Hey, Jeffrey, this is incorrect. Please remove this from your profile. Smile emoji. Did they hire you and then say that? Or did you just say that? Anyway, just let me break my piggy bank to buy 5 houses in 5 years. Agree? If you buy just 1 rental property per year, that cash flows $500 a month after all expenses, you'd make, what? Go as fast or as slow as you want. Just start being an owner. Wow. That's pathetic. And this doesn't make any sense. What? Sorry, I'm a little quiet with this one because I'm trying to analyze what the hell she's saying here. But you know what? Yeah, all right, cool. I'm gonna buy a bunch of houses. That's what I'll do, because that definitely helps the market. That definitely helps people like myself, or maybe people like you that are being told constantly and forever that they'll never be able to purchase property ever. You want to know why that is? Well, the biggest reason, corporations are for some strange reason still allowed to buy homes in cash. And people like this. It costs less to keep staff than to replace them. Boss, we can't afford the pay raise she wants. HR manager, then we should pay it. What? Why? Asked boss. HR manager replied, if we can't afford her increase, then we can't afford to advertise, interview, hire, pay, and train her replacement. It costs less to keep staff than to replace them. Well, that makes sense to me. May as well fire them anyway, right? Because companies, they're awful. We need to stop glamorizing overworking, please. The absence of sleep, good diet, exercise, relaxation, and time with friends and family isn't something to be applauded. Too many people wear their burnout as a badge of honor, and it needs to change. Do you want to be rich or not? Are you rich, Georgie? Huh, buddy? Are you rich? How's that working for you? How do you feel? Job description these days. We're looking for a junior manager with the experience of a senior manager for the salary of an intern. You will work for us for free, and we will abuse you all the time. By the end of this year, I'm giving away $25 million. I think I know exactly where this is going. That might sound like a joke to you, but it's real. Here's what I mean by this. I get offered $25,000 to $50,000 per hour for speaking engagements. For my next book, I've spent 1,300 hours writing it. I'm giving away this book basically for free. It'll cost 99 cents to purchase to track total sales. There it is. He's giving away $25 million of his own self-valued time. All right. As a recruiter, I do feel like it's very disrespectful to interview with multiple companies at the same time. Fuck you. If your interest is purely money and not furthering your technical career, then you should be upfront about that. A lot of bleeding-edge tech companies want folks that are here because they want to improve things, not just money. Agree? Wow, you absolutely got bodied with that vote, dude. As you deserve. As you deserve. No, we should not agree. I need a job. I need to make money. And I'm so sick and tired of people like you gatekeeping jobs because all you want is money. You're damn right. Without money, literally, how do you live? But you're talking about furthering a technical career. Man, dude, shut the hell up. You don't know fear. Me on my wedding day as a freelancer. Clients over husband. Look, I know that that's a joke you made. It's a cute little joke, but I've got a sneaky suspicion there may come a day when it's not a joke. Or at least, I would hope not. When I was born, I was only 11 inches tall. Now, I'm 73.1 inches tall. Here's the 7 secrets I used to grow an impressive 8.1% year over year for the last 28 years. Ugh, that's how all LinkedIn bitches be sounding, I gotta be honest with you. Being a Googler means turning work into an adventure. And with our hybrid work model, Googlers are able to work wherever the journey takes them. You call them Googlers? I mean, it makes sense. All I see is a bunch of workaholics who are unable to enjoy their vacation. My sympathies. Yeah, that does seem pretty crappy. Like, I get it. I understand. Having a lot of freedom in your work is nice. I do really get that. What I do, I've got a lot of freedom in my work. I'm not forced to be doing this right now at all, even though I'm sick. I'm not forcing that Sigma grind set because I gotta do it. It's because genuinely, I don't know what else I would be doing right now. Sitting on my front porch, staring at the wall. I don't want to do that. So, in the moment, I may as well be productive because I feel good enough to do so. But hey, my work also allows me to travel and still work. And I don't mind it, so I do understand to a certain extent. If you make less than $400K a year, you're a failure and should feel bad. Let's take a dive into why I said that if you make less than $400K a year as a husband and father, you should be ashamed of yourself. Life isn't about comparing yourself to other people. It's about surpassing your limits and breaking barriers for your loved ones. Life isn't about comparing yourself to other people. So saith the man that says if you don't make $400K a year, as a husband and father, you should be ashamed. I don't know, something does feel off about that. I know it's not like a direct comparison or something like that, but you're actively telling people to look at how much money, I'm assuming, you make, and then feel not like a man? We hired someone with zero experience. He was literally a second trimester fetus. We thought he would be a great fit with our existing staff, so we took a chance. Him being a totally immobile fetus, he failed miserably at the job and cost our company millions. But it was still worth a shot. Agree? Hey, look, the guy probably tried his best. Cut him some slack. My team is fully remote and meetingless. Communication is 95% written. This comes with some huge benefits. We can revisit conversations easily. Misunderstandings are way less likely. That doesn't seem right. Conversations easily turn into docs and internal wikis. Our output is 10 times higher than most startup teams of similar size that I've worked with in the past. Your company has 1 employee on LinkedIn. You. Well, then this all makes sense, doesn't it? Weddings are a waste of money. When my wife and I got married, we didn't waste $50K on a wedding. Instead, we sent every invited guest $500 and told them to invest in their favorite stocks. Teaching 100 people financial literacy is more important than a single night of celebration. Follow me for more personal advice. I don't wanna. Elon Musk has 8 kids. He's married 3 times. He owns 6 companies, which are all number 1 in the world at what they do. Elon Musk is on the way to become the first trillionaire ever. In addition to all this, Elon Musk has 111 million Twitter followers, and he engages with them throughout the day. Let that sink in. Certainly does help to be rich from the get-go, doesn't it? I hope you never stop recognizing how precious it is to sit with your children around a dinner table every night. PSA, 20 years from now, the only people who will remember that you worked late are your kids. My sister just sprinkled the last of Dad's ashes outside of his former office, with permission and with respect, because he loved his work and loved being there. He taught us that a strong work ethic is worth having. We know balance is too. Wow, that is just so sad though, right? I mean, that company probably didn't give a f*** about him. I created a fake LinkedIn profile of a founder, AI-generated white male face, Stripe alum, Stanford dropout, going through, what? Polymath. Within 24 hours, I had a venture capitalist reach out to invest. Hey there, I'm an analyst for blah 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 ventures and saw you were starting your founder journey. A few ex-Stripe buddies of mine had great things to say about you, and I'd love to connect. I don't think these people are real. I'm pretty sure they're just bots. How can they be any less? Ask for less. I think I'm gonna ask for more. If you're an employee, asking for a 3-week vacation ain't the best idea, because those 3 weeks will show the company that they can manage without you. So better ask for less. If the company can't manage itself without me for 3 weeks, they've got serious problems. Way bigger than me being gone. If I'm that important, I should be able to ask for whatever the hell I want. I sold my first forklift. Well, hell yeah, man. This one just feels wholesome. I swear I'm not just on LinkedIn to post. I'm also here to congratulate my friends on their new positions, receive unsolicited business advice, and stalk my friends from high school. Thank you, Hank Green. Lunatics are mad because people are using LinkedIn for the very reason it exists. Does anyone else feel this way whenever I open LinkedIn these days? Oh wow, the resume website about getting a job is being used for that purpose? Yesterday, I was walking to an interview. There was a starving dog on the road. I stopped to feed him and missed said interview. The next day, I got a call asking to come in and do the interview. I was surprised, but I went. Then the interviewer came in. He was the dog. CEO of Gab praising this. What an absolute king. Now that I've deleted all of my old tweets, I want to reiterate. Women still shouldn't code, and I trashed their resumes at Google so they could raise families instead. You see, people like this, again, they just don't see women as people. That is not how they see women. They do not consider them human beings. Didn't respond to my spam email? Now I'm going to call you non-stop. Prospects opting out of my emails with no explanation is personal. You're damn right, Trent. Another person that legitimately looks AI generated. I respond by calling them every other day until they acknowledge me. For every action in nature, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I thought it was or. An equal and opposite reaction? The more they resist, the harder I push in order to break through. Well, if you're being earnest here, you seem kinda scary. 400 passengers, but only 200 meals were loaded onto a flight from Delhi to New York City. It was only discovered after takeoff, when the flight attendants started going through their preparations for the meals. So the airline had bungled, and the crew was in a fix. However, one smart flight attendant had an idea. A couple of hours into the flight, she nervously announced, "Ladies and gentlemen, we don't know how this happened, but we have over 400 people on board and only 200 dinners. Anyone who is kind enough to give up their meal to someone else will receive unlimited free liquor for the duration of the flight." Her next announcement came 6 hours later. "Ladies and gentlemen, if anyone wants to change their mind, we still have 180 dinners available." Moral of the story, people who like to drink have very kind hearts. Damn, I would have been one of those people. Last night I was watching the episode of The Simpsons where Homer gets hyper obese so he can qualify to work from home. Then my son says this, "Is that what you did so you could work from home? If you're ever suffering from high self-esteem, please let me know and I'll send my boy over to bring you down a few notches." They just destroyed you. Freshly graduated data analysts after they discover LinkedIn learning and certifications. Right. LinkedIn does have a bunch of that, don't they? Parents, please be diligent and check your child's Halloween candy this year. I just found a fake motivational post from a LinkedIn influencer with multiple hashtags shoved inside of a Twix. No words. Imagine calling yourself a LinkedIn influencer. Hi, Amanda. Believe it or not, I found you on Tinder and was really blown away. I super liked you, but who knows if you'll see it. I need a sip. This is great so far. Anyway, you're so standout fantastic to me that I had to track you down through your book, and I hope you're simply flattered. I'd absolutely love to get to know you. I don't like this at all. This is the strangest thing I've seen in a while. Wow. Just stop. Ryan Whitehouse. NFTs, blockchain, crypto, metaverse, blah, 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 blah. McDonald's. Fry cook. I like that. I do like that. You went from fry cook full-time for 3 years. NFT, blockchain, web 3.0 enthusiast and investor. With that guy, right back to fry cook. Is this real? I feel like it's not. An employer invited 6 people for an interview by 7 a.m. They were all dressed in sharp before the time. He told them to wait. By 3 p.m., 3 had left. By 6 p.m., he came and met only 2. They got the job. That was the interview. A test of patience. Well, that's goddamn pathetic. Imagine spending that much time and not getting paid for it. Like, come on.
My reaction when a load of broke people stuck in dead-end jobs get triggered by my LinkedIn posts. Haha, look, you look really fat below the water. It's making you look really big and stupid. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I could have all of these by age 33. My home paid off, my 6-figure passive income, vacation home by the beach, a chef for home-cooked meals, and a paid-off Tesla. And I was right, I don't have any of those. Okay, bye, back to work. Yellow flag. To not work for free before your start date. A yellow flag. If you hire someone and they're not itching to help and dive in prior to their start date, you know, the great hires start adding value before their official date. Not every time, but most of the time. Dude, shut the fuck up. Shut up. King Charles on LinkedIn today. Extremely blessed and humbled to announce I've been promoted to King of England. Special thanks to my mentor, Queen Elizabeth II, for guiding me over these last 70 years. May you rest in peace. Looking forward to the next chapter of this journey. I really do despise how people speak on LinkedIn. Congratulate Tom McFadden for starting a new position as senior consultant at McFadden Consulting Group. Oh my god, what in the world is this all about? There's no excuse for mispronouncing names. Oh, shut up. I've spent my life explaining how to say my name. It isn't Sean, Cyan, Cian, or Shan. Thanks, Starbucks. So I thought I would clear it up. My first name is Sharn, if it makes it any easier. Surname, McIntyre, not Mick, and no capital I. There are so many tools online to confirm pronunciation before you speak to someone. Don't get me wrong, I'm completely used to it by now. No, you're not! You're making an entire post about how you hate it, dude. Okay? It's become part of my daily life. But next time you're unsure on how to say someone's name, take 2 minutes to do some research. Oh, like asking you how to pronounce your name? I'm sorry, but I don't find that disrespectful in the slightest. When someone introduces themselves to me, and I go, oh, okay, let me repeat that back just to make sure I have that correctly. That was correct. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure I heard right. It's just, Jesus. What is the big deal, man? Really? The short-staffed minimum wage slave that can't make his rent due will stop in the middle of service and look up how to say your name so you won't be bummed? Okay, boomer. Also, there are a lot of names out there you can't just Google the pronunciation of, because names can kind of be pronounced however the hell mom and dad intended it to be. All right? Your name literally could be Cyan. It could be if mom and dad wanted it to be pronounced that way. So just chill. Translation. I interviewed a guy who realized how bad I treat my employees, so now I stalk him. A while back, I interviewed someone who had a really good resume. It was an enjoyable conversation. They said they'd heard really good things about our company and the quality of the people that work there. They declined an offer and said it was because they didn't want to work as hard as they understood. Whatever do. I saw they were recently laid off from a company where they didn't have to work as hard. That's the story. What's the story? I don't get it, Tom. What the hell are you talking about? Gonna be hell when LinkedIn finds out about this tree. This palm tree fell over, refused to die, and curved right back up. Oh no, you're right. Oh no, please. Oh boy. Benny, I'm gonna conjure up the most annoying voice in the world just to represent you, because I've got a sneaky suspicion that you deserve it in this case. People did not watch Tucker because of Fox News. They did not watch Tucker because of the coveted 8 p.m. time slot. People did not watch Tucker because of glossy ad campaigns. People watch Tucker because they're starving for truth. They'll follow Tucker anywhere for it. Benny, I know you want to suck his dick so bad, but he's not gonna let you. I'm sorry. I hired someone with 0 experience. Not only that, but he was 3 days late to the interview. I knew from the usual LinkedIn posts, this meant only one thing. Success! Turns out he was awful. Had to go. The Human Centipede was a 2009 shock horror film about a German surgeon who got bored of separating conjoined twins and wanted to create them instead. The film somehow managed to spawn 2 sequels. Here are 5 things the film taught me about product management. Wow. Oh, wait, no, you've got podcaster up there. That adds up. Do you live alone? No, I live with my fiance and our 2 dogs. Well, okay. I've been divorced for 5 years now. Haven't been with anyone since my divorce. Okay. I empathize with that situation and understand that's probably difficult to deal with. However, I don't think this is an appropriate conversation for LinkedIn. It's really not. How gross. Now that we've hit the end, I would like to thank you for having patience with me and my sick voice. I've been doing this a long time, so I'm pushing through. I'm actually almost out of it anyway, so I'll be shipshape within a few videos, I promise. But for now, enjoy the anomaly, because I think it's kind of fun. I just peed myself in public. No, not because I had to go and there wasn't a bathroom close. There was one within range. Sometimes you just have to put yourself in tough situations to overcome adversity.
Oh wow! You peed in your pants!
As per my last email! I've never had to do that. Hopefully I never ever do. I sold my first forklift. Hell yeah, brother! Get that commission! Hopefully it's good and you are paid well, my friend. Ryan Whitehouse. NFTs, blockchain, crypto, metaverse, whatever those last two are, at McDonald's full-time present 1 month. I'm an NFT, blockchain, Web 3.0 enthusiast and investor. I've also been a fry cook, a fry cook? What the fuck? A fry cook at McDonald's? You could just be a cook, a fry cook? Is that what they're actually called? I mean, I know that some of them cook fries, but I mean, you know, also I know what fry cook means, okay? Let me make some jokes without you thinking I'm stupid. Why not give up on fossil fuel and work on what? Stirling engine generator for a 100% clean power generation? So, what's the heat source in that setup? You can't get energy from nothing. You can us anything, but I think an electric water heater. Same as they use in electric cars now. Colin, in this house, we obey the laws of thermodynamics. I don't know why I pronounced it that way. I apologize. It just sort of came out that way and I rolled with it. Also, why would you obey the laws of thermodynamics? That seems incredibly boring and basic. Don't let bullies get to you. Write poems instead. I spent a year being harassed and extorted for money on LinkedIn. A sad little excuse for a man decided if he shouted his lies loudly and often enough, he'd get me to pay him to go away. I didn't, obviously, but I did find a more creative way to eventually shut him up. A diss poem. And as it's National Poetry Day, here it is again for you to enjoy. There's a man who we'll call Russ, and he's making a big fuss because he thinks I owe him money, and I find it rather funny. He claims I've stolen content, but to all it is self-evident that my creativity comes naturally. It flows wild and free, sometimes annoyingly. But you see, he's been going on a year, like a mosquito in my ear. And yes, I've spoken to my legal bods, who laughed and said, it's rather odd to threaten you with court when his evidence is short, or completely non-existent. But my gosh, this guy's persistent. So to Russ I say keep going. Your engagement is slowing. And your credibility, as you post maniacally, will surely be shot to pieces. If you want to raise some cash, stop behaving like an ass. You're trying to get a job, so stop acting like a knob. Harassing me was amusing, but clearly you're still losing. So give it a rest. Names change for legal reasons. Don't let bullies win. Laugh at them. They really hate that. That poem was so close to being a masterpiece, but a lot of it just sort of fell flat for me. I loved the message, but did not like the prose and flow at all. Cultures of innovation? When a recruiter with an Indian name contacts you about an unsolicited position which bears no relationship whatever to your resume, it's almost certainly an offshore, contingent recruiting operation. Organizational development, cultures of innovation. People can't resist change? Is that what that's supposed to say? Ella Willis, content creator, speaker, and illustrator. You know, as someone that does, technically speaking, create content, I do make videos at my channel that you can see the link down below for. I just don't like the term content creator. There's something that almost feels delegitimizing about it. That's not a real word, but I just said it for the case of making this point. There's just something that feels weird about it. I don't know. I don't know, man. Leave me alone. I recently got called into a meeting with no context. Here's how this was genuinely painful for me as an autistic person. Panic that I have done something wrong. Rejection sensitivity can be triggered by the unknown. Feeling unable to plan how to act or prepare. Planning and understanding a social situation is key for me as an autistic person. Paralyzing anxiety. I can't think of anything else. I feel sick. My brain is running up so many scenarios because I don't have context for anything else. Anger that this could happen despite expressing my needs for clarification and transparency. Fear that the conversations that may happen will lead to tension and overwhelming emotions. Taking autism out of the picture, providing employees with clear and concise information about meetings, requests, and work is so important. I've spoken before about how asking for clarity is often seen as confrontation, but I think it's a basic ask for an employer. It's unfair to put people through the anxiety of not knowing when even a simple one-line explanation could alleviate stress. As someone who is also on that spectrum, I can agree with some points, for sure. I do know that there's only so much that truly can be done before everything grinds to an absolute halt, at least in my experience. Not taking away any of the points that you're making here, for sure. Everything can and should be as accommodating as possible, for sure. Absolutely. And it is unfair to put people through the anxiety of not knowing, but not knowing is just kind of how we all exist. Again, I am not against any of the points here. I do believe that to whatever extent you can go, you should go, especially when it concerns making people comfortable and feel less like a cog in your stupid goddamn machine. Really forced metaphor here. I just bought an apartment in Paris, and it was total culture shock. Here's why. I grew up in Australia. That nation is only 123 years old. Old Aussie houses were built in the 1960s. I also lived in New York for 2 years. Ownership is important to Americans. They don't like anyone limiting what they can do with their things. But that's not the case in Paris. My building was constructed in 1870. The exterior hasn't changed at all in 154 years. And the government says I have to keep it that way. Nobody's bothered by that here because they have a different mindset. They see themselves as a guardian who will look after the house for a period of time. Yes, the deed technically transfers ownership, but the way it's written, you're just adding to the list of previous owners. It's like this historical document that traces the provenance of the building. And I think there's a profound lesson here for SaaS founders and executives. Oh, software as a service founders and yeah, sure, that, Also, ownership is important. You want to know why ownership is important? It's not necessarily that I'm being told what I can or can't do with my things. It's that it means that I no longer have to pay some douchebag $1,900 a month when I could be paying $900 a month via mortgage, or not at all. That's why ownership of where you live is kind of important for people over here in the Americas, okay? Or just in general, all right? It's just better. We all deserve a goddamn home. Give thousands of headphones to deaf people. Here's why you should give thousands of headphones to deaf people. Say whatever you want, but you cannot get rich without first being generous. That's why every weekend I give thousands of headphones to deaf people. Right. Sure. Every weekend you give thousands of... it doesn't matter. And it's to show them that just because you cannot experience the usefulness of a gift does not make it less valuable. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to stop you right there. If you are indeed spending probably hundreds to thousands of dollars to do this every single weekend, by now, someone would have kicked your ass, right? That contributing all that e-waste to almost insult people, if not actually just straight up insult them. This feels insultingly rude, even though this person is fucking lying, for sure. Oh, and speaking of value, here's something I just recently learnt. You just learnt that, did you? That when I read a book, the book gains value. Now you can scream, "Preach, Pastor! Welcome to church and happy Sunday, everybody." You're a goddamn idiot. You're actually I'm a moron, and I feel confident calling you stupid. Something else in the pic is leaving stealth mode. We have a very exciting announcement, friends. In case you missed it, our sweet baby Muse just recently came out of stealth mode. What the hell does that mean? I'm not sure being pregnant is all that stealthy. You don't need a weekend. You need work you love that you do all the time without break. You don't need a weekend. What you need is work you don't need a weekend from. The weekend concept is barely 100 years old. It's a modern invention. What you really need is work you don't need a weekend from. Okay, you already said that. You'd be amazed how much faster you get your goals done when you don't go backwards 104 days a year. I'm sure this will piss people off, but you don't need a weekend. Hey, Alex, shut the hell up. I understand what you mean. This is just a shittier version of do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. This is a significantly dumber goddamn version of that, okay? If you're planning on cheating on your husband, make sure you log out of your LinkedIn account beforehand. Oh, uh-oh. Morning all. My account has not been hacked. I posted to admit I've been having an affair for the last 9 months to a year, and it came to a head. pardon the pun, yesterday when my husband noticed the photo is sent of me with 2 fingers up my vagina to Gareth or whatever. To which he responded with a picture of his, what is that word? Oh! I'd flashed up on Instagram and my husband saw it. I have moved out of the family home, which I have wrecked, having previously shared it with my 3 children, and am currently setting up a temporary home in a friend's spare room. Due to the issues being experienced, I am not working for the remainder of the week, but will be back in full flow work-wise next week. Thank you for all your concern, but it is really not necessary. I'm a big believer in living by your decisions and owning them, regardless of their type. Isn't that just beautiful? LinkedIn needs moderators at this point. Yesterday, I bought a Kit Kat, but forgot to eat, busy in work. Suddenly, today in the evening, I found that Kit Kat and I ate it. Sometimes while working, we forget to take a break, and this Kit Kat realizes me that life, mine, break, what? Okay. I don't know what you just started to say, but, yeah, take a break. Jeez, LinkedIn freaks me out. Maybe take a moment before you post. Think it through. If you see anything today on LinkedIn, let it be this. Tag someone who needs to see this too. Happy Friday, all. Image by someone on Instagram. You are ready. Jump. Hi, how's your day going? Lol, your red receipts turned on? Are turned on. Lol, rude much? I bet you wouldn't talk to me like that if I had you bent over, getting stretched out. Hey Dylan, what website do you think you're on, dipshit? I'm gonna be real with you, boy. Boy, because you're acting like one. You're probably older than me, but you deserve the moniker boy. So where do you think you are, dude? Owner of Power Wash Near Me LLC, the best rated exterior cleaning company in Westchester County, specializing in residential and commercial roof cleaning, house washing, power washing, gutter cleaning, and window cleaning. Why don't you clean out your own gutters, dickhole? What's the matter? It's the same distance. Okay, I do not want to see the rest of that image. Great post. Let me expound on it though. Barbed wire equals sexism, alligator equals racism, brick wall is jealousy, privilege or last obstacle equals glass ceiling, and from the beginning, ball and chain is systematic oppression. If you don't understand this, ask a woman of color. Better yet, ask any member of a diverse community. Carry on. If you're going to burn bridges, go down in flames. Someone had too much pudding, obviously. What? Oh my lord. LinkedIn Park. Applied so hard and got so far, but in the end, I wasn't even hired. Are these actual images of them, by the way? I know what you're thinking. Why are you even asking? 99.999%. Probably not. It's just a low-resolution image. Despite how it looks, I always want to make sure. But there's something that feels incredibly f***ing gross about this. Meanwhile, on Business Insider's Emily Stewart says that LinkedIn being a cringy space is well established. The issue has been dissected on Reddit, in the media, and even by LinkedIn itself. LinkedIn is just a weird space to be in the first place. It's a jobs board with a social network layered on top of it. It's an artificial space where everyone is trying to put on their best face, but one that leaves people feeling quite exposed. Why does LinkedIn feel so cringe? And is it possible to post there without being cringe yourself? Stewart decided to reach out to some experts to try and find out, which was an embarrassing endeavor on its own. Do you think posting on LinkedIn is embarrassing? Thank you, Business Insider. I do believe it is. Most recent update. Attention, sexy Florida boys that want a porn career. Cool. You're here. If you are kidnapped, don't call your parents. Call your HR. They will negotiate better. Okay. The head of security at Ashley Madison's parent company doesn't understand the risk of saying too much on social media. Wait, isn't Ashley Madison the affair website? Who are you hiding from and why? Most of the people who are OPSEC, obsessed on social media, do not have good answers to these questions when pressed. What? This Ivy League graduate believes flat tires are a test of resilience, separating the weak from the strong. There are weaklings who have a mental breakdown when they get a flat tire on the side of the road. And there are strong, resilient folks who forget to mention that flat tire at dinner that night. Oh, you're so fucking cool, Nick Huber. Stress is relative, and your ability to deal with it is a muscle. Exercise it. No, I don't believe in that one bit. No one should have to go through stress in order to feel
like a normal person, or to feel resilient, or to feel worthy, or anything like that. Bro fixed a flat 2 years ago and won't stop talking about it. First world problems. Fire Festival's founder can't read the room. Wait, I thought this dude was in prison or something. Come have dinner with me. Let's play with fire. Okay, I did wonder about the whole prison thing. I guess he was released in September of 2022. He was supposed to serve 6 years, but he served less than 4 and has to pay $26 million in restitution. Yeah, dude, why don't you start making jokes about the reason you went to prison? All right. Been interviewing a ton of salespeople lately. Funny to see how little confidence that some have. Yes, I will 1000% measure how much you believe in your abilities by how much base you need. By the way, if you're a plus A player and have experience in software as a service, hit me up. First year... What? Plus 300K, and we'll sell the best software in transportation and logistics. Posting this on Saturday because I need someone who can/will compete every day. Yeah, competing every day. That sounds so fun. Idiots! You're losing valuable seconds! Did you know most people lose an average of 2 seconds per minute of work by using their mouse instead of keyboard shortcuts? I really don't give a rat's ass in any way, shape, or form. Look, I understand that as someone that edits videos and stuff like that, not for a living, but I do it a lot, sure, I could absolutely save time and be more efficient by just using keyboard shortcuts. Will I ever go mouse-free? No, I'd rather get hit by a train going 2 miles an hour. Shame on anyone who uses the story to boost their professional profile. Shame on anyone who took part in the vile gossip about the whereabouts of Princess Kate, a disgusting mob of people who thought playing into comical conspiracy theories was the right thing to do. A woman and a mother who had to leave her young family to sit on a bench with a camera in her face to essentially shut down the gross rumors circulating. I sincerely hope that each person who wrote, recorded, or took part in the ridicule feels ashamed. You really should reflect on who you are as a person. The very same people will be typing, "Be kind," very soon. Society in 2024 is so poisonous and asinine. Get well soon, Princess Kate. I'm just not sure why we have to go there. Ever wondered how men show they're interested in a woman? What do their body language indicators say? Flirting can be a secret language with little signs revealing big feelings. In this guide, we'll decode the 16 body language guys send through their body language when they're attracted to someone. From subtle hints to bold moves, let's explore the ABCs of male flirting. Friend, boyfriend, perverse. What's virgin, though? And yeah, you know, sometimes that friend one is also inappropriate. You don't always have to be touching somebody to show any form of affection. Romantic or not, big data analytics. Why? CEO decides to make things awkward with former employee. Hey, friends and associates. Actively looking for a new job ASAP. Was let go from mine today. Any help or direction or contacts would be greatly appreciated at this point. Will refrain from talking about the reasons for my departure from abstract on social media. Happy to have conversations in private with people. But please, if anyone has any friends hiring, or you are hiring, please message me. Thank you in advance. A pretty unprofessional post, Mr. Whitlock. I hope you make better decisions going forward. Was not meant to be unprofessional. Not sure how it was either. I simply put that so people do not comment asking what happened on a public post. Yeah, it's a real cool move by the CEO. If your title is CEO and it's not just the letters you gave yourself because it sounds cool, that's a really pathetic, childish little move you pulled there. Having 3 kids feels like having no kids. That isn't a crazy statement. Why? Because everything in life is relative. If you have 0 kids, 3 seems like insanity. I have 5 kids. When 2 of them are gone, it feels like I have 0 kids to me. Every single thing in life is relative. What the are you talking about? I have 3 kids. When 2 of them are out of the house, it feels like I have 1 kid to me. If this helped you, please share, like, and subscribe. This feels accurate. Skills are very important, but attitude and drive are what get you there. From a leadership perspective, taking the time to coach and develop someone who may at the start lack informal blah blah blah, you don't hire for skills, you hire for attitude. You can always teach skills. Almost started crying in a customer implementation call today with Apollo.io. I get pretty emotional when our customers tell us we're making a huge impact on their organization. Being told that there are parts of the product they've they've never been able to showcase before, or that they've never seen the demo environment look so good makes my heart explode. Every day, our team works incredibly hard to deliver an exceptional experience to our customers, but hearing you're achieving that goal is one of the greatest feelings in my life. CEO praises someone for taking a call at 2 a.m. in minus 17-degree weather. This week, I led my first board meeting as CEO at Protect Our Winters. I knew one of our board members, Conrad Anker, would be climbing in the Khumbu region of Nepal. It is Khumbu, right? Near Mount Everest, and time zones would be challenging. Here's Conrad dialing into our meeting at 2 a.m. local time. He found internet, but not heat in minus 17-degree temperatures. So, just bundled up in the North Face mountaineering gear for a 3-hour discussion. We noticed partway through the Zoom that his water bottle had frozen solid. This is the level of commitment I see from our POW team, your prisoner of war team, on climate action. Athletic excellence is the perfect mindset and metaphor for this challenge. Like Conrad, we're showing up in all conditions for the climb ahead. Sorry, look, him dialing in is one thing, but how, did you say, how long? How long was it? For a 3-hour discussion? What the shit did he need to be there the entire time for? I don't care if he's your other top-level executive. Why did this need to happen? Genuinely. God. Spent my childhood the wrong way. When I was 12, I was the founder of A Stick in My Garden. 12-year-old front-end dev, founder of Code in Blogs, graphic and UI UX designer, learning Node.js backend, 7th grade student at Noble International School, 400 plus exercises completed on Free Code Camp. Well, just, wait, how old are you now? When, what, are you 13? Or are you like 27? That's the real difference here, I guess. Chief Mom Officer, the family circus, self-employed. At the start of the pandemic and birth of my second child, I took a planned temporary leave to head up my household, aka family circus. As co-founder and head of operations of this rapidly changing startup in the unpaid labor space, I've accomplished the following: created efficient household systems to meet diverse set of stakeholder needs across family segmentation in a rapidly changing and demanding environment, improved food sourcing process, cutting food budget by 12% and reducing time to shop by 60%, allowing that time to be reallocated to higher value activities, displayed exceptional negotiation skills in an always-on environment of out-of-scope toddler requests. Well, I mean, that's probably the most valuable thing you can bring to the table, and I'm not even making a joke. I mean, look, if you can handle toddlers effectively, you've got more experience than anyone else on the planet in dealing with high-level executives in every company on the planet. I'm almost certain of, by the way. Effective change management as company shifted its role into healthcare in Q4 and Q1 while deploying COVID, RSV, 3 sinus infections, 2 stomach bugs, and 4 respiratory illnesses over 6 months. Consistently mediated conflict while multitasking for stakeholder demands and created a culture of unity, coached for emotional resilience. Man, that's freaking crazy. I did a lot less than you did, I'll be real. Did they actually count, or are they just bluffing? Recently, I filled a position that attracted 3,360 applicants and 7 referrals. 1,662 weren't located in any of the listed hiring locations on the posting. Welcome to people trying to expand their horizons and maybe move and try something new. Screw them, I guess. 739 applicants required visa support, which we couldn't provide, also listed on the posting. That's a little different, I'll grant you. 763 of those applicants didn't showcase the basic skills or experience we needed for the role. I really want to know what the role is now. 124 resumes were shortlisted for the hiring manager to review. 43 candidates were selected for a recruiter screen. That's only 1.28% of applicants. Who gives a shit? 21 passed the screening and had an opportunity to meet with the hiring manager. We invited 11 candidates to complete the take-home evaluation. 9 candidates nailed it and made it to the technical interviews. 6 candidates completed the entire interview loop, which included cultural interviews. We extended an offer to 1 applicant. The offer was accepted, and the role was closed after 50 days of opening. 50 goddamn days, dude. I initially reviewed their profile within 2 weeks of submission, and the time from the first call with the selected candidate to the final offer being made was 28 days. Wow. If it took me 28 days to get hired, whew, I know that there are probably plenty of stories out there of it taking way longer, but that's still insane. This overview doesn't account for the hundreds of LinkedIn messages and cold emails from hopeful applicants since the role went live in January. Many teams aren't equipped to handle such volumes and struggle to deliver efficiently without prior experience. I share these insights so job seekers may better understand the challenges of talent acquisition teams and navigate accordingly. I'll follow up with some of the main takeaways next week. No thanks, Don't care. I'm a millennial manager. Of course you can leave early to take your cat to her grooming appointment. I'm a millennial. I'm not saying that every time. No, I can't take the meeting because I have therapy at that time. Of course I don't care when or where you work from as long as you get the work done. Of course I have a printer, but the cable's been lost since 2018. Okay, I don't know if that's relatable at all. Yes, you can work from home today because your favorite orchid is set to bloom. Have you had lunch yet? Yes, let's walk and grab some. I always quote my therapist. I want to know how your weekend was, how your family is, and let's hop into the to-do list. Yes, I find a lot of purpose in my job, but am working to break down old age sentiments that work is my only purpose. Yes, work is never your only purpose. All right? God. And also, wait a minute. What? This post came from the manager of events at the Walt Disney Company? What? No, I'm sorry. Never mind. I don't believe you anymore. I don't. Whether you were making a smartass post to be a jerk towards people that believe that work-life balance is a good thing or not, the Walt Disney Company, I do not buy that for 1 microsecond. Whew! There's one thing 10-year-olds care about. It's audience engagement and conversation. My 10-year-old daughter overheard someone on Zoom asking me, how do we drive more engagement in social media? After the call, my daughter asked, why don't they just be more engaging? What? Like Mr. Beast. Everyone loves him. Who? The most popular guy on YouTube in the whole wide world. Why? Because his videos are fun, silly, and you don't know what's gonna happen. So, I learned. Know your audience. What? Huh? I don't think that's the takeaway necessarily. Look, I don't know anything about Mr. Beast's success. It is probably the most insane success story I have ever seen and experienced in my life in terms of YouTube and creating art on the internet in any format. It is wild and insane. And you know what? I'd love to have Mr. Beast co-host an episode of EmKay here with me. I think we'd have a lot to say on LinkedIn lunatics. But I don't know. I do like that though. Just why can't they just be more engaging? I need to go do some studying on Mr. Beast myself, apparently, because I'm missing out on something important here. That's a very long-winded way of getting strangers on the internet to wish you happy birthday. Life of a bootstrapped 40-year-old solo founder means doing your own expo bump out after popping home to see the kids after their swimming lessons. Means cramming all your gear into the family's 2011 Santa Fe around 2 car seats because you forgot to take them out before you left home. It means trying to head home before bedtime to find out how your daughter went with her speech for Harmony Day today. Is putting the cost for parking on your personal credit card because you maxed out the business account again. Is working with an amazing team of colleagues, partners, and collaborators to get shit done with whatever resources you got. I absolutely loved chairing the digital health stage at Australian Healthcare Week the last 2 days and would do it all again in a heartbeat. Super grateful to Sophie Turner and Antonia Worrell, who represented so well on the... Oh my god. Oh, okay. And I got a few levels left in me. You know, that's great, man. It's hard to imagine why recruiters sometimes get a bad rap. Ghosted? You probably deserve it. Lots of talk about how recruiters are ghosting candidates, and candidates place all the blame on the recruiters. Sometimes you deserve it. Wrong. Sometimes you should do your job. And I don't always have time to call and tell you all the reasons you're a bad candidate or human. Well, first of all, you have no right or reason to ever call and tell me why I'm a bad human, asshat. So get that straight right now. God, the arrogance in that statement. Backstory. I placed a candidate on an assignment. Candidate called and needed to resign due to health reasons. I get it. I'm not one to get in the way of your personal needs or issues. After the candidate left, the manager scanned through all emails. Manager sent me the email chain of the candidate negotiating an offer with another client and staffing company on work email. Well, that role must not have worked out because a few weeks later, a candidate reached back out asking blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. It's so exhausting. Man, you want to get treated like a normal human being who applied for a position? Maybe you don't deserve that dignity. Let me make up a story so that I can be a little more justified in that decision. Whatever. LinkedIn freaks me out. These people will turn literally anything into a story or life lesson for clout. Someone on my team abruptly dropped off a Zoom mid-meeting. Some would call that rude. I consider it productive. It was clear the meeting was no longer relevant to him. Give your team latitude to use their time wisely. Okay. Give your team the latitude to have a connection issue. Yeah, there's absolutely no nuance whatsoever with some people like this. Yeah, dude definitely just ran away to get working again. I went to Fiji. I wasn't tempted to document every moment. Oh boy. Last week, my notifications were off, my auto reply was on, and I enjoyed a very special trip to Fiji with my daughter. I even left my laptop at home. Experiences like this have the power to shape how we show up as individuals and as professionals. They create lasting special memories while serving as a reminder to step back from the day-to-day and take in what's going on around us. I've been reflecting on the ways I want to maintain this perspective in my time. Man, you really got ahead of yourself, or not ahead of yourself, you really went all in. You left all your work crap at home, and it's clear that the entire time you were trying to figure out a way to spin it so that you could at least post something on LinkedIn when you got home rather than actually being present the entire time. I don't know, man. I'm just so tired, dude. I'm just so tired. I just want everybody to be happy and not have to, Sigma grind set their life away. Words can get misconstrued and tone can often be misinterpreted. Next time you feel the need to correct, mansplain, or disagree with someone, please take a deep breath. Many are projecting their personal anger or frustrations out on other people and only further spreading negativity and hate. There are humans behind the screens. Never forget that. Mansplaining is a derogatory term. Do better. You know what? That's gonna do it for me. It's honestly just gonna... Director of International Talent Partnership. I reviewed your application for our project director job, and I'm astounded you thought you had the relevant experience as described in the advert. Please do not apply for any of our advertised vacancies. Regards. Bro let his inside thoughts out. United Healthcare is now saving $10.2 million annually with one simple trick CEOs hate. Oh, that's so dirty. Starting a new business. Do you have an annoying boss or pretentious coworker? For the low price of $5 a month, I'll comment on their LinkedIn. That's a stupid idea every time they post something. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the subscription model. You guys know this. You're very, very keen and aware, mainly because I've made it obvious time and time and time again that it's stupid. And it's honestly gonna be the end of commerce as we know it. That's for sure, but I'm gonna be honest here. I kinda want to pay for this subscription. I wouldn't really be able to make use of it though, because I don't have a traditional company or bosses or anything like that. So maybe what I'll do is I'll give them $40 and then I'll wait for the inevitable future when I do have a traditional work structure where I'm clocking in or doing this or doing that. Regardless of where it is that I work, I know that good times always come to an end. They always do, all right? So, when the bad times come a-rolling, I want this guy to make sure whoever the hell I'm working for does not get too big-headed based on absolutely nothing at all. I like the cut of your jib, Jordan reviews it. Wife had to clap back at the audacity. The audacity? I haven't used that program in years. Wait, for what though? Wife had to clap back? Let's see. Oh, holy crap, not what I expected to see when I turned a corner. All right, let's take a look. I came across your LinkedIn profile and reaching out to see if the following would pique your interest. Recruiter, HR generalist, account manager, or relationship manager. Please let me know if you're interested. If so, send me an updated resume. I look forward to hearing back from you. Thank you. I'm interested in exploring, but wanted to note that I don't have a lot of experience on the HR side with managing payroll, termination, and onboarding of employees, etc. Also, I am targeting, I imagine, $120,000 to $130,000 for my next role. Do you think that's something they'd consider? Thanks for the reply. A couple of things I want to point out, and do hope you don't mind the constructive feedback. All right, bot, let's see what you got. Attention to detail for this role, and any role, is important. Double checking, proofreading, grammar, and correct spelling is very important. For example, you wrote, I'm interesting in exploring. Did she really? Oh, she did. Okay, interesting. Didn't quite catch that, but whatever. For example, you wrote, I'm interesting in exploring. The correct way is, I'm interested. Also, you wrote, targeting. Correct spelling is targeting. I feel like she might have done this on purpose. On another note, as far as you not having a lot of experience on the HR side with managing payroll, termination, and onboarding of employees, etc., but you're asking for a target range of 120 to 130K? By the way, the correct format is with the capital letter K. What you're asking for is not even close to being possible. You asked, do you think that's something they'd consider? No, that's something I would not consider for the following reasons. Given your lack of experience, doesn't qualify for the salary you're asking. Lack of attention to detail, misspelling, and grammar. I'm sharing this with you so you can be more prepared for the next person you chat with for a job. Good luck to you! Hi, Sherry. Thanks for sending over this feedback. I sent this initial response from my cell phone at 4:50 a.m. before my run, so apologies for the grammatical errors. I tried to get a couple of messages sent off before the day got away from me. I am seeking that compensation because I have over 9 years of experience in recruiting and the HR space, and that is closer to what I'm currently making. The role that you have reached out about encompasses 3 different roles merged together. While the $75,000 compensation might be aligned for a 3 to 5 year requirement, I have multiple years beyond that, really. Also, to provide you with a bit of constructive feedback as well, you have grammatical errors in your message to me. You forgot the M before reaching out. You also spelled interested incorrectly, and there should be a period after resume. Your feedback about my compensation ask came across as passive-aggressive. Perhaps you should have considered that I'd inquire about a higher range, since the role you're reaching out about is targeting 3 to 5 years of experience, 4 years less than what I currently have, and the job posting mentioned starts at 75K. What a lovely day. Oh man, I still don't think that other person is real. Excuse me, I just don't. I don't see evidence. Reddit is dragging your cringe-worthy LinkedIn posts. Oh no! Sharing something awful on LinkedIn? The 670,000 strong LinkedIn lunatics subreddit is watching. The existence of the group says a lot about how the professional network has changed in recent years. Oh yeah, because the website stopped being about professionalism and helping people get jobs, or even if that was the original idea, I don't know. It stopped being about that really quick and started being about Sigma grindset shower thought intellect. And I say intellect like that because, I don't know, none of these motherfuckers are smart. They all just say shit using thesaurus.com, or they tell you the craziest crap you've ever heard of. This is how getting beat up by a monkey changed my mindset and turned me into a billionaire. And these are the 5 steps you could take to, like, dude, it's crazy. It's the Wild West of cringe. Stories on LinkedIn be like, yesterday we had a Zoom meeting and Sanjay was reluctant to turn on his cam. I insisted that he did and saw that he was presenting from a bed in the ICU where his mother lay dying. He apologized profusely for the inconvenience. I said, don't apologize for being human, Sanjay, and I didn't fire him. I just cut his salary. Show compassion to your employees. Exactly! That's what they're all like! Denying type 1 diabetics their insulin is everything that's right and good about America. Yes, that's right. In America, we f***ing kill people. Oh, here we go. Yep, that's the face I wanted to see today. Brian Thompson went from Jewel, Iowa, population of 1,200, to leading 140,000 employees and overseeing $280 billion of revenue at one of the world's most important companies. Okay? His mom worked as a beautician, his dad at a grain elevator. They were probably really proud when he graduated valedictorian of his 50-person high school class. He played basketball and the trombone, got elected homecoming king, and worked in soybean fields and meat processing plants during summers. While studying at the University of Iowa, he met the woman who would become his wife, with whom he would have 2 kids. By all accounts, he was smart, hardworking, funny, and a thoroughly decent man. This guy, not the person who murdered him in cold blood, was everything that's right and good about America and the American dream. May his memory be a blessing, and may his example inspire all of us to do better. Shut the f*** up. Go gargle somebody else's balls, Robert. Jesus. All right, what's the top comment here? Aha, here we go. The slam dunk. I don't normally comment on posts, but the situation of the murder of United Healthcare CEO did strike a nerve for me. My experience with United Healthcare started in 2014 and ended in 2019. I'm a type 1 diabetic and require insulin injections to survive. 2014 and 2015 were fine, but in 2016, United Healthcare decided to decline my insulin coverage, as I was told by the appeals specialist in 2016, and I remember it like it happened an hour ago. I'm not saying we don't cover insulin. I'm saying we don't cover your insulin. At the time, I was forced to buy vials of insulin out of pocket at the cost of $740 a vial, each vial lasting only 3 weeks. I found out through my partner that I could get my insulin in another country, Brazil, for much cheaper than the United States. Attached is an image of the insulin I purchased at a pharmacy in Rio de Janeiro. To understand what you see, the total cost of all of this insulin was the same as 1 vial in the United States. The image is of an 18-month supply. It's unfortunate that someone was murdered, but it's also important to think about how many thousands, millions, were murdered by a company in order to get a higher per quarterly dividend. A company that claims to be in the business of providing healthcare services? That's not at all what they're in the business of. That's what they sell to you and I. That's what they claim with you and I. But at this point, we all got to realize that is absolutely not even fucking remotely what they're selling at all. It's not. Okay? And when you're at the top of the food chain of one of the nastiest, most disgusting abuses of human rights that this species has ever seen, maybe don't be so fucking surprised if someone comes knocking on your goddamn door one day. We all deserve to live in dignity and good health. We all do. Shouldn't have to have $10,000 a month minimum in order to be considered savable, treatable, human. It's a little goddamn ridiculous, isn't it? Let me alienate myself from potential employers. Open to work for good pay and benefits. Employer must be willing to hire a white man. DEI bullshit will not be tolerated by me. Leftist companies need not respond. Oh, I'm sure they need not respond right up until your last dollar leaves when you buy that last... Never mind. I'm not gonna... No. You almost got me, you son of a bitch. I bet you are open to work, huh? Let's make her famous. Let's see. I can't believe my junior sent me this. Today's kids are something else. He stayed late, so now he's going to show up late to the office to make up for it. What a move! I am speechless. Hi, sir and ma'am. I will be coming in tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. because I'm currently leaving the office at 8:30 p.m. When's he supposed to be leaving? Hold on. He stayed late. Now he's going to show up late. Oh, I see. I see. He's going, well, look, I left late, so I'm going to arrive late. Wait, did he stay late on purpose? Did he stay late after someone maybe told him, like, hey, you don't need to stay late, dude, go home? Did he insist at that point? Because that's not really how that usually works. How to not get fired. You're fired. One of the most devastating words to receive from your boss. I know, mine just told me that. In my first job as manager, I had to tell Jonathan he was fired for turning up to work high on cocaine. However, he pulled out an Uno reverse card and said, Uno reverse. Shit, I thought, I'm fired now. This was the worst way this could have gone. But then I remembered, we weren't playing Uno. However, I briefly felt exactly what it would be like to get fired. The pain, the confusion, the uncertainty. I couldn't do that to Jonathan, especially as he was creative enough to try the Uno play. So I rehired him. I later explained what happened to my bosses, and guess what? They fired me. So Jonathan's reverse card did work in the end. Guess we were playing Uno after all. See, these are the posts that redeem the rest, honestly. They really, truly do undo all of the crap the other actually real posts do to me, man. Yusuf may have won at the Olympics, but if he showed up like this in the corporate world, his resume won't get shortlisted. He won't get the right projects. He won't get put in front of customers. He won't get promoted beyond a point because corporate success is more about perception than performance. Dude, are you on crack? What are you talking about? This guy did his thing really well at the world's largest sporting event. Haha, that's crazy. But if he wanted to be a dipshit CEO, I'm afraid not, my friend, because your target shooting has nothing to do with my... I'm not going down that road. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. Friends hate this simple trick. All right. Oh, it's him again. Oh boy, here we go. This is going to be a good one. I owed a friend $22.91 for an Uber. I transferred them $22.19 by accident. They never brought it up. Nobody would bring up 72p. I did it on purpose. I've been doing it for years. Every time I transfer someone money, I accidentally leave off a bit. I call it the plausible deniability typo. 2437 instead of 2473. 938 instead of 983. 346 instead of 364. Sometimes if I'm feeling really risky, I'll do 1854 instead of 1954. They'd look like a complete tool to quibble over this. Instead, they're a tool in a different way. A tool for me to get to the top. I've probably made 100 pounds over 5 years. This son of a bitch is playing the longest con... The longest? The longest. That's what I said? I ruined it. He's playing the longest con of them all. I sold my first forklift! All right, well, this one's just kind of fun, though. I mean, that's awesome. No, really, what's the problem with this one? Look, if my job is to sell forklifts, you better bet your ass I'm gonna celebrate after I sell my first forklift. What, are you joking? Are you kidding me, man? What else am I supposed to do? I just turned 30 and I'm worth $19 million. Here's how I got there. Not to brag, but to hopefully inspire you to get there too. I woke up at 4 a.m. every morning for 6 years straight. Started a recruitment agency. Took 2 cold showers per day. Invested in Bitcoin at $59,000. Engaged with all walks of life. You never never know what you'll learn. Inherited $22 million from my parents. Post high-value content on LinkedIn. Consistency is key. Execute, execute, execute. If I can do it, you can do it too. Make sure to follow me for more financial advice. I do genuinely love the detail he threw in here about how he's worth $19 million despite his $22 million inheritance. All right after investing in Bitcoin at $59K. You know, it's the little details, folks. These are the cinematic details you want to be looking for. Drives an hour? Why not go to your hotel room? What? Hey, check this out. In Croatia, you know you're seriously into marketing when you're on vacation, ditch everyone at the beach, and drive an hour to a co-working space to work just because you're so passionate about what you do. I hope I'm not the only one? Well, okay, obviously not the only one. There is nothing wrong, by the way, with being passionate about your work. If you are a workaholic and it works for you, and the people in your life accept that and they're totally fine with it, you know, the close ones. Like if you're a workaholic and your wife doesn't like it, a conversation has to be had, all right? That is a marriage of two people right there. But if you're, say, a single person, and that's what you love and that's what keeps you happy and gives you purpose, who cares? Who cares? Do I find it silly? The notion of leaving the beach on vacation so I can go and work? Yeah, absolutely not would I do such a thing, but depends on the work. It really depends. HR is at it again. LMAO. All right, let's see here. Hiring. Ooh, that's one I've never seen. HR specialist / employer branding. Psychologist without degree. Hey, wait, what the f? No, I don't think that's allowed. Petya Petkova? Yeah, I don't think that is allowed, ma'am. I'm just, okay. Amazon in not going full in person. It will remain hybrid, confirmed. Everyone calm down. Amazon is still a hybrid company. Monday through Friday in office, Saturday and Sunday work from home. I don't see how this is such a complex. Okay, like silly jokes aside, every corporation ever. I know all the big corporations watch EmKay, right? What is the purpose? Is it tax write-offs or something? Renting out buildings instead of letting people live in their home? Like, what is it? What is the real benefit? I mean, if I had to guess, micromanaging and controlling your workforce because you can't control every aspect of their lives from when they shit and piss to when they get to breathe drugs to feel better about their shitty job. I understand that part, but how would you not want to save a shit ton of money, at least on rent? I know a lot of these companies own their buildings, but like I've told you guys before, when I worked for Comcast, they didn't own that building. They leased it from a competing ISP at a hefty cost. And I know what you're thinking. The infrastructure to let people do all that from home might be expensive too. Correct. That's correct. I don't know if it would be $10 trillion a month like all the goddamn rent on buildings. Elon Musk should buy LinkedIn and run that into the ground too. You know what? I'd support that. I'm kidding. I actually wouldn't, because as stupid as LinkedIn is, I really don't think we need a second website for now. Corporate jargon that makes you cringe. Oh, it all does. Oh, honey, it all does. For me, it's please advise. It's used so loosely that it comes off as passive-aggressive and makes me cringe every time. Like, is it a polite way to ask for help or a subtle dig at how someone's not doing their job? It's got that weird tone where it feels like you're being scolded without actually being scolded. Why not just ask the question directly instead of using this overly formal passive-aggressive phrase? Anyone else feel the same or have their own cringe-worthy corporate jargon they'd love to banish? Katarina, I'm not gonna fuck up your last name. Do something today that you can be proud of tomorrow. Mother throws newborn daughter out of a window to her death because she thought a child would ruin her career as an executive at Porsche. Okay, I don't want to verify this. I don't. You know what kills your career way faster than having a child? Killing your child. That's, if this is true, because again, I'm not going to verify it. I don't want to make my day worse. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do that to myself. I gotta treat myself nice. Okay, you should treat yourself nice. I'm going to treat myself nice. All right, but I don't understand. I just don't understand. I think about Luigi Mangione a lot. As a CEO, he would hate and possibly kill me. Yet I feel strangely drawn to him. I can't stop imagining, what if it were me on that street that night? He approaches me holding a gun, but he doesn't shoot. We lock eyes. I appeal to his humanity and talk him down with my soothing words. I tell him the only antidote to pain is love, and that he deserves love too. He drops the gun. We embrace and kiss. Later, we're holding each other's warm, thick bodies in bed. I say, see, CEOs aren't all bad. He smiles. I get him to denounce his anti-capitalist ways. He is saved. God, I wish it were me on that street that night.
Ken, you and me both. It's sick. And oh my God, it's always Ken. It's always Ken. Is he like the go-to funny guy on LinkedIn? The guy that doesn't take any of it seriously and is just hilarious? He's got to be the go-to guy, right? He's most of these posts. It is sick and disgusting that people are making jokes out of the death of a CEO. There is nothing funny or ironic about insanely rich men who profited off the mass suffering of others meeting their demise. It is no laughing matter that it is very hard for the police to find his killer because he was so hated by everyone. I'm utterly shocked by how many are ready to celebrate the death of somebody just because he was responsible for so many deaths himself. I'm fully and completely appalled people are painting the killer as a hero. He's not a hero, no matter how cool and attractive he looks in the footage. Nobody should be making light of this. I'm shaking and vomiting at the thought that someone would. Do not forget that this CEO was a real human being. A human being who was murdered simply for valuing shareholder profit above human life. There's nothing funny about that at all. HRs are the landlords of LinkedIn. Oh, cool. All right. HR isn't perfect. We're employees, and we're human too. A fellow HR professional left me a comment saying, I go to therapy and vent where I can because we all have to appear perfect on the surface. We're not allowed to have faults, make mistakes, or struggle. When we do, people lose trust in us because they see we're only human and we do make mistakes. I agree. HR is always held to a higher standard, more so than any other role or department. I think it's based on like how you, wait, I'm sorry, hold on. I gotta verify this really quick. Yeah, AI image that someone watermarked like they're an artist? Okay, anyway. Well, I think the main problem with HR, y'all, is that for some strange reason, at least in my experience, you guys were always sold to us as someone on our team, someone we might be able to get help from, when in reality, your job is to specifically protect the company. If someone sexually assaults me on the job, you might just fire us both because that could protect the company. You don't give a fuck about me or the psycho asshole that's going around doing nasty things to other people in the office or saying mean things. You care about the public image of the company. See, why would I give a shit about you when you disregard me and all of my fellow coworkers? Far leftist, they're really trying to make this partisan. Just posted on X a moment ago. Good for you, Steven. Breaking. Far leftist identified as the suspect in the assassination of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Is anyone to point at all? Luigi Mangione is an anti-capitalist climate change activist and former Ivy League student who idolized Unabomber Ted Kaczynski, per New York Post. He was also carrying a manifesto blasting healthcare profits and calling for violence. Okay, it's not a partisan issue. These motherfuckers are killing all of us. They're going after all of us. They don't care who you voted for. They're gonna say no to whatever you need. You need your insulin? Doesn't matter who you voted for. They're gonna say no. Even if you fight the motherfuckers the whole way through, they will do whatever they can to make it impossible for you to get the help you are owed. When you need the office to know you never miss leg day. Oh my God. We're thrilled to announce new leadership roles. Why the hell? I don't think, okay, the ladies, they look okay, all right? No problem with them. I don't think a single guy in this photo is dressed well, okay? Maybe it's the super tight clothing on our rooks here on either side. And you know what? Never mind. The guy in the middle is okay. It's just everything is so tight on them. Why is everything so tight? Can we get the menswear guy to join me on EmKay and critique clothing and teach all of us how to be better at, dressing? I mean, hell, he can even teach the ladies something. I'm sure of it. Please, for the love of God. In the past 4 weeks, 8 out of 10 applicants answer the phone, hello. And it's driven me crazy as a career coach. Y'all, hello doesn't set a professional tone. Motherfucker, who cares? You called me. I don't know who you are. What am I supposed to say? Let me suck your balls. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What am I supposed to say? Let's see what she says here. Doesn't set a professional tone. In fact, it induces doubt of your professionalism from the get-go. Man, these people just really are desperate for something to say on this platform, not even really meant for this. Answering the phone with, hi, this is Fist, last name, okay, is a small change that makes a huge difference. It allows the caller to hear your name clearly and immediately sets a professional tone for the conversation. Share this simple tip to help your network stand out. Do you have any phone interview tips to share? No, you got it. You hit the nail on the head. We should stop saying hello when someone calls us. Let's just stop it. Because, again, I don't know who you are. I'm going to have to do this with everyone on the off chance you're calling me because I have to meet your demand, I guess. So, dude, I don't even know what to say. You know what? I'm going to go the opposite direction.
I'm gonna stop saying hello because, as Tegan is pointing out, it makes me look stupid. But I'm not gonna say anything she's recommended, okay? I'm just gonna answer the phone with, oh, I got it. And you know what? Never mind. I changed my mind. I am gonna follow her recommendation. Hi, this is Dick Cheese. Life update. I'm happy to share that I'm starting a new position as deceased at none. At none? Imagine being this much of a loser. I am highly disappointed as India has shifted from a 6-day work week to 5. Yes, I do not believe in work-life balance. Indians require sacrifice, not relaxation. I used to reach the office at 6:30 a.m. and leave at 8:40 p.m. I maintained an intense schedule of 14-hour days, 6.5 days a week. Man, that is exclusively your goddamn problem. Or at least it became a you problem at a certain point, when in reality it was just indicative of more societal bullshit from your generation. You guys were expected, I guess, in your country to do way more. Doesn't mean that the younger generation's gonna put up with what you put up with. They're not. And I'm glad they're not, okay? F*** off, Molly. One of my posts ended up on a Reddit thread called LinkedIn Lunatics. While LinkedIn can be full of complete rubbish, like me calling someone a twat, it is also a place of huge opportunity. Have you listened to our latest Working on It podcast? Oh my god. I instantly lose respect for anyone who posts on LinkedIn. Unbearably cringe. You know, for the first time, I'm coming to the defense of LinkedIn exclusively. As unbearably cringe as it might be, the entire website has had more of an actual place in the world coming from a spot of usefulness than X's best day. And I don't mean Twitter on its best day, I mean X on its best day, okay? Elon, you gotta go, brother. You gotta go. You need to take your billions of dollars and go cry in the mountains somewhere. Now, without a shirt. Okay, I'll start. Your gym could use some improvement. The heaviest weight there is maybe 30 pounds. Second, fix the wire hanging down from the TV. It makes you look lazy. Why are you wearing the same pants as before? Please don't post a picture without your pants on since you are lurking. What? Oh no, this is LinkedIn. I'm just supposed to wear a cheap suit and brag about my useless skills. I cannot take this shit from a guy who shows the same personality across platforms. How dare he express his personality when I am busy spreading lies? This is for all you Reddit motherfuckers. Now, go bitch more about me with your other insignificant bitches. Okay? Hey, he really is kind of tapped out at 30 pounds, ain't he? I'm not a big guy, but shit, I start at 25, dude. Like, what are you doing there? I loved this response is amazing though. He got mad that people on Reddit were making fun of him, so he thought, let me flex in front of a mirror at my gym. Oh yeah, that'll show them I'm so goddamn cool. I'm so tough. Oh, I'm gonna change all their minds. Oh, I'm cool. I'll take option A. Would you rather get paid $1 million right now or $50 every month for the rest of your life? I'll take option B. That's what passive income is. Find a way to make passive income. It'll change your life. $50 a month is not gonna change anybody's life. Okay, that's not true. It might change somebody's life literally always having $50 no matter what you do coming in. Maybe. It might be the deciding factor in some things, right? But no, I'm sorry. Even after having to pay 45% of taxes, I can walk away with enough money to fix my life. So I'm gonna take the $1 million and get my life back on track, because $50 a month is not going to do that for me. Please don't have a life. I just ended an interview 60 seconds in. Hey, how are you? Counting down the hours till the weekend. I sense this is not a culture fit. Sorry. He was super mad, but I think early stage startups are too hard to have people who count down the hours. Thoughts? Oh no, was the human a human? Go f*** yourself. Happy to announce that finally 4 years of my hard work has paid off. My manager got promoted today. Calling candidates rats. What a damn start to the day. Just lost 2 deals worth $18,000. One candidate pulled out of a second interview worth $8,000. Job was his to take, pulled out by a text message, and took a counteroffer where he currently works. Absolute rat. Another candidate has genuine reasons and called me to tell me she won't be accepting the offer. $10K down the drain, fair enough. Then, to add salt into the wounds, new business LinkedIn message. A regional operations manager for a power rental business didn't like my approach through LinkedIn and decided to tell me that she has now emailed all the decision makers in her business to stop me winning them as a client. We will see about that, you little rat. Gonna say rat again? I've been up working since 7:30 and lost $18,000 pipeline and some, oh, I see, is trying to stop me from winning business over another, or over nothing. What am I doing? Recruitment is a tough business. Okay. Selling people is the hardest commodity to sell in the world, and dealing with jobs worths who think they are something special. Who the hell does she think she is talking to? I won't give up. I'll never give up. Watch out today. I'm on one. Good news. I should close a $7,500 deal this afternoon. Not all bad. How much you want to bet he didn't? Reality, unemployed. Versus blockchain enthusiast, cryptocurrency evangelist, influencer, inspirer, chief visionary, serial entrepreneur, i.e. every failed business I started, founder, omission, philanthropist, another omission, empowering, something, life coach, father, trendsetter, top 1% of LinkedIn profiles according to myself, speaker, TEDx, 2-time attendee. Oh, I love the 2-time attendee of TEDx. It's not even the real TED. Nobody will remember your salary, how busy you were, how many hours you worked. People will remember the time your post was screenshotted and shared in r/LinkedIn lunatics, and then spoken about on youtube.com/EmKay. I fired my entire dev team, replaced them with O1, Lovable, and Cursor. Now I ship 100 times faster with code that's 10 times cleaner. No, you don't. OpenAI O3 is coming, and 90% of dev jobs won't survive. You know, regardless of whether or not that's the case, it does seem kind of weird that so many, like, of course, at first you'd be thinking, yeah, I get to save a bunch of money. I do get to save a bunch of money. Right up until the day comes, and the day will come, by the way, that it's no longer $40 a month to use OpenAI. It'll be hundreds. You know damn well, once they get it to a point that they really want it to be, all of these companies, right? Once they're at points they really want to be, it's not going to be that cheap anymore. For what you are doing, Wes, for what you are doing, you better be damn ready for the day enterprise subscriptions arrive, and you got to be paying 10 grand a month for it. That scales up depending on the type of project you're making. Sure, a lot of these models might be downloadable and runnable on local hardware, whatever, which I do hope happens sooner rather than later. Data centers are destroying the planet. Neither here nor there. Do you really think this shit's gonna remain dirt-ass cheap forever? Like, for real? Have you seen subscription prices of single-use programs? Do you know what it costs to use Toon Boom Harmony, for instance? No. Ain't no goddamn way this shit's gonna stay cheap forever. Do you remember streaming? What did Netflix start out with? It was like $1.50 a month. Not really, that's more hyperbole, but I digress. And now it just keeps going up and up and up and up. Not keeping with inflation, it's just going up. This shit's not going to stay there. A sane take. As a founder, I work 12, 15, sometimes 18 hours a day. But I have given my team strict instructions to log in for 8 hours and log out in 7 hours if possible. When a company grows, the founders and leaders earn disproportionate rewards. It's dumb to expect young team members working for a salary to invest their time and energy that deeply. Of course, if some team members really want to do more on the job, their compensation and rewards should be extremely high. 70 hours of weekly work is evil if it only lines the pockets of the ones at the top. Thank you. I will say thank you for that opinion, but remember, this is where the bar needs to be. This dude's hitting the bar. It's how low it is. Team members should be treated appropriately, be worked a lot less, and have fewer hours, and get paid really decently, especially if they go above and beyond the job they need to do, because it's not their company, it's mine. And if I stand to gain $10 trillion, they should stand to gain a little bit of goddamn freedom and dignity in their lives. Peak satire LinkedIn needs more of. It's Ken again. I initially rejected a candidate's CV twice. However, when he applied a third time, I decided to invite him for an interview. We offered him a role immediately after the interview. Why? Because I realized he was the brother to a mega famous pop star. Now, a year later, he's terrible at his job and costing the business a lot with his mistakes, but I get a VIP booth at his sister's concerts. Sometimes money and profit isn't everything. Status is also important. I want you to start before you're even hired, or I'll fire you. I hired someone new to start on the first Tuesday of the month. They arrived at 8:45 a.m. on the first Tuesday of the month. They walked into my office, put out their hand for me to shake. It's bad news, I said. I sent them home and told them this job wasn't right for them. When hiring, you want people that aren't afraid to start the job earlier. Was he early to work? Yes. Could he have come in on the Monday? Yes. Don't just do what's asked of you. Do what you ask of yourself. See, this right here is the exact post I was talking about earlier, the do what you ask of yourself. He came up with that quote after smoking weed one night and thought it was the smartest thing anyone on planet Earth has ever said, and really thought he had poetry here. He thought he had a poem on a scroll, and this is what you get. People like this do deserve to be sued, by the way. Look, I know that Americans get made fun of because we always bring up, like, suing people in the event of inconvenience or blah, 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 blah. But stuff like this, I'm sorry. Knowing how long and stupid the interview process could be, if this is real and not satire, which it's not Ken, so it can't be satire, that much time being wasted on a psychopath, absolutely I should be able to sue you in small claims court for income. Income lost because of the amount of time I had to give you, only for you to go, you did what I asked of you, you're fired. What does this AI slop even mean? Even for board members, respect matters. Guys, I'm gonna say something. This might be the gayest post ever put on the internet, and that is saying something because you've been privy to most of what I've seen on the internet. This channel has exposed me to stuff that would kill Victorian people if they even got a whiff of it. This is so... What? PTO, just don't get it. Why should employees get paid for not working? You work, you get paid. No work, no pay. It's as simple as that. Colin, what does it say your position is? CEOs? Okay, so you're not a CEO. You're probably a middle-level manager who took a picture in a suit once. CEOs and founders, follow me for Okay, my guy. What do you mean? Are you telling CEOs and company founders to follow you for any advice? This post proves that you're stupid as shit. Why would anybody in their right mind follow you? PTO, I just don't get it. It's very cool. You may not get it, Colin, but I don't get why the f*** you're here pretending you're gonna be giving anybody advice. I peed the bed on my honeymoon. Not exactly one of my proudest moments, okay? But if I had to guess in the future, probably one of the funniest stories you'll ever be able to tell as the marriage goes on. You guys are gonna be like 70 years old and you'll go, remember that time I pissed the bed on our honeymoon? And she'll go, oh, Anthony, shut the f*** up. And then you'll both laugh about it. I just remembered this incident after my CrossFit session this morning because I was feeling thirsty. So I'll recount it for you. Thank you. We'd just flown to Seattle to celebrate the most memorable milestone of our lives. We hit up a fish market to challenge our taste buds. I didn't know what got into me, but for some reason, I decided to get this spicy crab soup with this really red broth. Great, that sounds delicious. You were probably at Pike's Place Market. It was the spiciest soup I've ever tasted. So much that I drank an entire bowl of it. Ooh. To cut a long story short, I woke up at 3 a.m. in a puddle. Had to wake up my brand new wife and say, I think I peed the brand new sheets. I was pretty sure this wasn't what for better or for worse was supposed to mean. No, that's literally exactly what it means, but all right. Anyway, she laughed. We still joke about it years later. That moment taught me something crucial. You don't need to take yourself too seriously. There it is. There's the goofy LinkedIn lesson they learned from the most TMI story they could tell the public. In business, I see leaders who are so afraid of looking like idiots, they never take real risks. How is taking this risk by telling us the story of you peeing the bed on your honeymoon going to get you any reward? Not that everything in life needs to be done for a reward, but really? Damn, they won't admit mistakes, they won't ask for help, they won't share vulnerable stories that connect with people. The leaders who last are the ones who can laugh at themselves. When you're willing to look ridiculous, your team feels safe to try bold ideas. When you admit that you don't know everything, they bring you their best insights. When you share your failures openly, they stop hiding theirs. My team knows I'm not perfect. Like when I hired an attorney who lost his license in not one, not two, but 3 different jurisdictions. Are you fucking joking? Or when I built this hodgepodge of a website that looks ugly even by 2014 standards. Or when I knew to myself that I was the bottleneck in our firm. Wow. A leader who can't laugh at themselves creates a culture where everyone's walking on eggshells. A leader who can embrace their humanity creates a structure where people bring their whole honest selves to work. If you can survive peeing the bed on your honeymoon, you can survive anything business throws at you. I did at Sterling Lawyers LLC. I did at Rocket Clicks. I can do it anytime for our clients. Yeah, this is Anthony. He pissed the bed and is one of our worst lawyers. You want him? Oh, okay. Look, not to make fun of the guy too hard if he's not trying to be funny, but that is kind of crazy. Look, second chances and third chances should totally be a thing across the board, but what are we talking about? You hiring an attorney who lost their license in 3 different jurisdictions. Why did he lose that? I think we deserve some of that context to see if you're just weird or not, Anthony. Wow. Just wow, my man. This website is insane. The next deluded fanboy. Elon Musk is receiving 0 compensation for all of the work he is doing with Doge. His focus is not on money. Excuse me? He is driven by the goal of making a significant impact and ensuring the survival of humanity. That's some impressive writing. The writing you're doing in this post could probably hit #1 trending on Pornhub, brother. It's impressive what you're saying here. And sure, he might have been receiving 0 compensation from the taxpayers, like as salary, but a lot of people in that industry know that if you give up the salary for just shares, you might end up with $750 billion of net worth one day. And his focus with Doge was exclusively on money. To such a degree, he would axe anything with a $sign next to it. Anything that was necessary and helpful if it had a silly name and a budget where he just didn't understand. Because remember, Elon Musk is fucking stupid. Not sure how I feel about this one. Thoughts? Declining offer. Hi, we had an interview today in the afternoon. I'm writing this to inform you that I'm no longer interested in the position I was offered earlier. A 1-week trial that requires office attendance and full employee level work is not a trial, but unpaid labor. I'm not willing to proceed under those terms. Wishing you the best of luck finding no one comfortable with that arrangement. Thank you. Not sure how I feel about this one. Thoughts? You should feel relieved that people are standing up for themselves by saying, no, I'm not going to be your slave for 1 week, literally, and at the end of which you're probably not going to give them the fucking job. If this is indeed a declined offer at you, I hope your company goes under. That is pathetic. That is lame. That is sick. I will entertain absolutely no arguments in favor of forcing applicants to work full time for a week before you probably don't give them an offer. That's insane. Go bankrupt tomorrow, please. Imagine telling your entire professional network that you try to get away with not paying people for their labor. He probably thought he was so fucking smart for coming up with this idea too. What if we make them work for a week for free? Then we'll really get to see how they are. And no, dumbest shit I've ever heard. I hope you lose your job and have to beg like these people do. You deserve to feel what this fucking feels like, being told that you need to work for free for a week and then probably get turned down afterwards. Found my first one. Oh boy, your first one what? Let's see, everybody. I accidentally sent I love you to my entire company Slack. 3,000 employees. I panicked. Most bosses would have sent a correction. An apology. Not me. I leaned in. Within 3 minutes, I followed up. And I mean it. Every single one of you. Then I started replying to individual threads. Love you too, Pradeep from accounting. Rajesh, you're special to me. Neha, I think about you often. HR called me immediately. I'm sorry. Just the way that name is spelled is how I feel about the current world. Aishid, this is creating an uncomfortable work environment. I said discomfort is just intimacy in its larval stage. By noon, 47 people had replied. Love you too, boss. Not because they do, though, but because they'll probably get fired. I don't know how the work conditions are in India, but I imagine they're significantly worse than here in the United States, all things considered. So they probably thought, well, fuck, I have to tell my boss I love him now. I literally have to. Employee retention up 23%. Untrue. Sick days down 31%. Not how that works. Correlation is not causation, my man. People started working late because they didn't want to disappoint someone who loves them. Oh, so that's emotional manipulation and abuse. Yesterday, someone from legal asked, was that Slack message a manipulation tactic? Yeah, it was, bro. I looked her dead in the eye. Venetia, I love you. Why would you even ask that? She cried. Then she closed 3 deals that afternoon. Love isn't a feeling. It's a workforce optimization strategy. So it is manipulation, you f***ass loser. Okay, wait. Also, just another thing to pick apart here, right? Someone from legal asked you, and then she closed 3 deals. What deal is legal closing at your company? Are they salesmen, on their lunch break? What are they doing? Is legal not just there on retainer to constantly be ready for defense in terms of litigation and whatnot? Making sure the company doesn't do anything that would hold them liable, or I can't remember the other word, but you know what I'm getting at, right? Is legal not there as a defense in those cases? What are they doing closing deals? Oh, that's so funny though. Hey, Warp customer here. We emailed you 28 hours ago with a couple of payroll questions. Mind taking a look? Great post. On it. Wait, let me read this. Let's see. Hope you had a great holiday. 2 things. Still on track for the Pave integration soon. What do you guys do/not do for 2025 payroll stuff? Let's see. I'll die on this hill. If you're a founder and take more than 2 hours to respond to customers, you shouldn't be a founder. Emailed you 28 hours ago with a couple of payroll questions. Damn. Maybe it's time for you, Ayush, to get out of this company, get out of this business, because you can't practice what you preach at all. Although what you preach is kind of stupid. If you take this stuff upon yourself, you're going to get overwhelmed real quickly and realize just how impossible this might be. I'm 39. I train every day and have never been in better physical and mental shape. I work 14 hours a day, run several businesses, and currently have my first 2 books published. I have 4 children and a husband. Ugh! And at the same time, I perfectly balance work and personal life. As you can see, anything is possible when a person lies. Thank you, Virginia. Interesting spelling of Virginia, I guess. But thank you so much for being one of the people that takes the piss out of LinkedIn. We need more folks like you, genuinely. There needs to be a better balance of guys pissing on their honeymoon and people like Virginia on LinkedIn, okay? Because this woman ain't no lunatic. She knows exactly what this website is all about and how it helps literally no one. LinkedIn is healing. Is it really, though? Let's be honest, folks. Stanford rejected me. MIT said no. Harvard ghosted. VCs passed. My dream internship didn't happen. Still, I went on to get the Platinum Trophy in God of War because real warriors don't wait for validation. They forge their own path. Damn right, my friend. That's what this is all about. You are the balance in the force that is LinkedIn. Healthcare equals slavery. All right, AI slop. That's great. Okay, Bill Fremgen, I don't give a shit. Healthcare is a human right, Medicare for all. True, ain't that the truth? To say that something is a human right is to mean that you're entitled to it. Healthcare is a service provided by others, which means you believe you're entitled to other people working for you. That's slavery. Shut the motherfuck up, you dumb piece of shit. It is a right. Healthcare and being healthy absolutely should be a right. In a society, we do have responsibilities to each other. You want to participate in this thing we have going on, we do, to a certain degree, owe each other that love and patience, right? I know it sounds weird to say, but we are entitled to happiness, to getting to exist, to getting to be healthy. We absolutely are. Bill, shut the fuck up. Yet another HR LinkedIn influencer. End of the interview. Do you have any questions? Wrong answers only. Why does HR constantly write self-aggrandizing posts on LinkedIn? Yeah, hey HR, shut up. I mean, I do feel like 90% of the time, things that are posted on LinkedIn or otherwise can be summed up as shut up. I mean, look at my posts on Twitter. You know, my Twitter account, XYCRONVA, or my Blue Sky account, XYCRON.TV, or even my Instagram, ITSBOOBIN. That's what most of my stuff can be summed up as. Shut up! But at the very least, I'm not writing self-aggrandizing posts on LinkedIn, okay? That might make me a little bit better than you, but I mean, a little bit? I mean, just a little bit. I'm crying. Nobody. LinkedIn influencers. Yesterday I was walking to an interview. There was a starving dog on the road. I stopped to feed him and missed the interview. The next day, I got a call asking to come in and do the interview. I was surprised, but I went. Then the interviewer came in. He was the dog. No, it's true though. They're all fucking like this, and I don't understand what is in the soup. On LinkedIn, is it actually in the hopes of getting a job? Is it actually the hope that there's going to be some rich, famous, successful CEO that sees your post and goes, I like the cut of this guy's jib. What a beautiful story. And then hires you? What is the purpose here? Because I know none of the LinkedIn influencers are doing it to actually improve any kind of morale. It's barely been 3 days since they fired like 30,000 people. Software development engineer, let's see, 2 days ago, be an early applicant. That's great. Software development engineer, how much you want to bet they're paying like the equivalent of 8 cents an hour for these engineers, right? Amazon, go to hell. I had a pizza at a restaurant yesterday. When it arrived, I insisted it was the wrong way up. Why did I do this? Disruption. In 2025, you have to be disrupting the main narrative at any opportunity. I told the waiter toppings down is how it's meant to be served. I made him flip it over so the bread is on top. Eventually, he gave in. As the waiter nervously flipped the thing over, all the sauce and toppings went everywhere. It was a real mess, almost impossible to eat. But do you know what else is a mess? Business. Don't be afraid to make one. As I was leaving, I noticed about 3 or 4 other tables had flipped their pizzas over too. Always remember, you have the power to change the narrative. Pizza toppings have had it easy for far too long. It's upside down pizza's time to shine. Ken, you're a genius. No, this one's obviously trying to get you. This one's funny as shit. I mean, look, I want to connect with you emotionally. You did, Ken. This is rage bait that you could only ever dream of, man. Dream of. If she doesn't work hard for the pick, she doesn't deserve you. For the pick? Oh, it's Ken again. I fucking love Ken. I was sexting a new romantic flame last month. She asked me for a nude photo, and I said, I don't send digital versions. So I sent her something in the post. 3 to 5 working days later, it arrived. She texted me, what the hell is this? It was a bag of 500 jigsaw pieces. I only send nudes in puzzle form. It shows both intelligence and commitment to complete a whole jigsaw puzzle just to see a picture of my dick. Her response? I don't have time to do this, dude. Immediate bin. I couldn't date anyone who sees a jigsaw and doesn't make them more turned on. I also fired her because it's inappropriate to sleep with your boss. No, this guy might have the best account on the entire website. Let's all agree on that at the very least, shall we? Thank you. Let Trump milk the cows. Ask Trump to milk your cows. Vermont farmer regrets voting for Trump. We voted for Trump to fix the border. Now we're milking cows alone at 4 a.m. We didn't think they'd come for the people who help us milk cows. Locals just don't want to do this work anymore. Yeah, there's a reason those jobs filled up with the people that are coming here to escape wherever it was they were before. They are readily available. No one wants to do them. It's walk-on hire type shit. No one in your small fucking town wants to get paid 14 cents an hour and be exploited like you exploited these workers that you voted to be disappeared off of the fucking streets. You reap what you sow, dipshit. You reap what you fucking sow. I didn't think they would come for my enslaved labor. I didn't think they would come for, the guys that I can get use out of. Aw, damn. And of course, their mind wouldn't be on the human rights violations and cars being emptied in the middle of the night and people being shot to death in the street. No, of course he wouldn't be worried about that. He's worried about the fact that he's got to work. Why don't you pick yourself up by your bootstraps, you buckaroo-ass bitch? 3 levels of wealth. No LinkedIn, no LinkedIn. I have had a LinkedIn for a long time. I just check it every 6 months and go, wow, none of this means anything to me. It really doesn't. It has no benefit. I have never seen a benefit for it. I think I used it once to contact people that worked at a specific company, and that kind of didn't help me at all. Little bro has to try so hard to prove that he is hustling. I just finished a 30-hour flight from the US to Saigon. Most people paid for a flight. I paid for a 30-hour mobile office. Oh my God, shut the hell up. Congrats that you still spent those 30 hours doing something, but she has the right idea here. Oh wait, there's more to it. Sorry, I thought that was it. My friend saw me coding. Why not just watch a movie and relax? I calculated the ROI of sleeping on a 30-hour flight. So I broke down the math to her. The ticket wasn't an expense, it was an asset. No, it's not. You already used the ticket. It bought me 30 hours of uninterrupted time. Sleeping is a conscious decision to depreciate that asset. My friend was literally setting her money on fire for 14 hours straight. I converted the same time into 3 new features. That's pure alpha. This guy's also f***ing with you guys. I hope you know that.
Screw the wife. It's Christmas jumper day at the office. Ew, I don't want to know if you got laid. I was so gutted I was missing Christmas jumper day. I considered canceling my wife's birthday to attend that I decided to wear mine a day early. Hey, no judgment. This man is following his dream and his passions, which is just far more insulting to the wife than already threatening to cancel a birthday, Boss. We're returning to the office 5 days a week. Employee. But I can't afford a car and a babysitter. 5 days a week at the office. Non-negotiable. But I was hired as a fully remote employee and I can't afford to buy a car or pay for daycare with my current salary. No, the firm has made its decision. If you want to stay with the company, I'll see you Monday at the office. 5 weeks later. Employee. Here's my 2-week notice. I have found a fully remote job that does not require me to commute. Even though it's a smaller company, they treat me like I deserve to be treated. No, wait, you're our top employee. We can figure something out. Too late. A-hole son's mother dead. Now buy my business book. Oh God, it's like LinkedIn is just even more of a facade of cringe than social media itself.
A 45-year-old and his wife came to the conclusion that his mother had become a liability for them. They decided to send her away to an old age home. When he, her only child, told her about the decision, she was extremely hurt, but she eventually agreed. She was 73 years old. The day he took his mother to an old age home, he noticed all the people in the old age home already knew his mother and were waving at her and showing her immense respect. After signing the relevant papers, he asked an old nurse how she knew his mother. The nurse replied,
"Oh, we all remember her. 45 years ago, she had come to this old age home that also serves as an orphanage. She had decided to adopt a 5-month-old baby who had just lost both his parents. She adopted the boy and decided to give that boy the best life she could."
On hearing this, her son started crying. Realizing his mistake, he begged his mother to come back home with him. His mother did a sick kickflip on a skateboard and refused. She passed away in the next 2
on X, but I thought this would fit. As someone who has never been in my entire life, I have a genuine question. Do people literally not check emails or work at all until January 2nd? Well, in my opinion, checking email or Slack during the holidays is usually considered maintenance, not actual work. Same is true for staying up on industry news, social media, etc. Also think it's a net negative and a huge reason why people burn out. Yeah, I guess I meant, does no one maintain? Because in my head, you can be on vacation, but still check 30 minutes a day or so. Oh, I'm sure that's all it is. That inquiry you sent me isn't going to take up a solid hour of my time eventually as I try and format a proper response to your email and figure out what exactly you're after from me. I mean, this person, props to their company. The company I work for has made it very clear that leave is time away from work and consider logging into any account while on leave an ethics issue. This is the way it should be. Not only is it not expected, but it is actively banned, so no one can even think about expecting you to. Found this in the JD for a job. Some additional details. Office location is here. Work from office. Timings: 9:30 a.m. till work gets over. You don't leave until I say so! You are considering joining a startup. Building anything of value takes time. The majority of our exits happen within the first 2 months of people joining because new joiners are not able to adjust to the high-pace environment. You can expect 10 to 12 hours of work in a day. Oh no, I think you forgot to make this ad enticing. Principal shows off an alumnus. Oh no! I always love seeing the alumni out and doing well. This young lady has her own apartment and is working 3 jobs. I am proud of her. Oh, the detachment. I love the idea of a principal who actually cares about how well their graduate students are doing. Looking at that girl's eyes, you can tell she is not smiling. It's fascinating how many people survive in companies without adding any real value. I am a fruit. It's fascinating how many companies survive on VC money without adding any real value. Oh, I see where the insult is now. People invested into this guy and they've got nothing out of it. Wow, that orange is more ruthless than someone's own mother. I guess we won't be getting a holiday card from this lunatic. If you are an active member of LinkedIn Lunatics, I hope your butthole closes up and you have to eat your own poo through reverse eating. Well, that's gonna have the completely opposite effect of turning people away from this subreddit. Lunatic looking to hire intern for 6 months of unpaid work. So slaves, they want slaves. Hello, hashtag connections. We are looking for Android developer intern. Location, Noida Sector 59. No work from home. That's right, we expect you to commute. Experience, knowledge of Kotlin, Android Studio, and Java. Salary. Duration 3 months or 6 months. After your internship, we will also offer you a job opportunity. Oh, so this is their way to actually employ people as well. Getting some revenue by not having to pay them for the first 6 months of legitimate employment. Humble brag. I spent $12,000 per year on a holiday party. My wife and I hire staff to park cars, hang coats, serve food, tend the bar, and play good music. And we invite all of our friends to come and enjoy. People come who we've raised our children with, who we've stood in the rain to watch a soccer game, who we've witnessed go through a divorce, who we've watched lose spouses, who we've lent money to, and who we've borrowed money from. It's the most beautiful collection of people that you can imagine. Indulging to have all of them in the same place for a single evening is the best money we will ever spend. Some people choose to collect art, others collect cars. We choose to collect friends. They produce the greatest dividends life can offer.
Again, I gotta question it. It's just, guy genuinely just seems to really appreciate friends and family. But again, this is LinkedIn, so it's... is it really genuine, or is it a facade to sell his business as a family, wealthy, successful man that you too can achieve by buying his 3 books?
Appreciation is priceless. A boss's thank you can be more rewarding than a pay raise sometimes. Can it? I almost died. Being an entrepreneur is what got me through it. Buckle up, buckaroos. The last 2 weeks have been my worst of 2023. It's been a poopy butthole show. I spent 3 days in hospital with blood poisoning, unable to work for 7 days whilst recovering, got locked out of my own LinkedIn for 5 days. Oh, that's gotta be the worst of them all. Was mugged in London this weekend. Currently have no phone or SIM card. Missed all 17 gym visits I planned to do. Wait, was this guy on like a holiday at the same time? And that was his itinerary. A few years ago, this would have really fricked with my mental health, let me feeling sorry for myself, and knocked me back 10 steps. But not anymore. Poopy smell butts your hole, smelly poo poo, gross yum yum eat happens. It does for everyone, every day. The best thing about starting a business and working on yourself is that you develop bulletproof resilience levels. You get up, you go again. Grateful for the journey I've been on this year. I've learned a lot. But folks, remember, this is LinkedIn. Remember, the word genuine does not exist on this platform. It's all about ulterior motive. Hey, guys, idea. This just came to me now. Can we start a poopy stinky that has gone wrong thread below? To normalize things not being perfect 24/7. Share your December disasters below.
Come on, engage with me. Engage with my content so I know who won.
Oh, look, we found someone who's beautifully calling all this out. Oh, thank you, Alina Varna. You're amazing. If you'd like to win LinkedIn, here is your 5-step cheat sheet. 1. Obsess over algorithm. Don't you dare to include any external links in your post, ever, or edit your post, even if there is a mistake. Hashtag everything. Comment all the time. Engage, engage. 2. Try to go viral at all costs. Always be looking for more followers. Their interests are irrelevant. Focus on the number. 3. Bash Google while praising Microsoft. Submit to Microsoft gods that owned LinkedIn. Make sure to tag the companies. Oh, don't worry, you big boy, they're gonna notice you. 4. Pimp out your profile. Include keywords such as influencer, content creator, thought leader, advisor, investor, executive, entrepreneur, etc. It would help if you can throw ex-Microsoft in there. If you used Word, it counts. Oh, and that online class you took from Harvard?
Make it rain.
5. Tell obnoxious stories and ask for thoughts. The crazier the better. Did a dog help you land a job? Did you teach your kid a lesson? Did you hire a pregnant woman? Bonus points for including crying selfie. And it ends. Agree? Haters gonna hate. A hot take. If you hate LinkedIn, you probably hate making money. Seeing a lot of people bash it on here saying, the feed's not the same. Organic growth is dead. All content is clickbait. Never been a better platform for wealth creation for normal folks. Pay them no mind and keep building. And that's it. That's all he had to say. Doesn't need to add anything else. Agree or disagree? Really look at this entire post and question to yourself, what value is it creating here? What's the purpose? Give me your money. Forcing your sick child to learn hacking for internet points. My little man is off school today with a nasty cough, so rather than have him sat playing Minecraft or watching TV all day, I have set him on a path of learning. He is working his way through Try Hack Me Introduction to Cybersecurity path and loving it. Rick and I may have a budding penetration tester on my... That's the title? Penetration tester? Not bad for a 10-year-old.
Y'all need to change the job title.
9 things I'll teach my sons before they turn 18. Pornography is evil. Physical strength equals overall strength. Hard is good. Good is hard.
Already reading that this person was treated harshly as a child themselves and is now just projecting it onto their own kid.
Start things. Passivity kills. Find and keep a brotherhood. Seek wisdom. No price is too high.
Okay, that's not too bad. You don't learn wisdom, you develop wisdom. You learn intellect, you learn intelligence.
How to call a girl and ask her on a date. To know and leverage their strengths.
Oh, so you want a bangmate who doesn't have a career.
She's just so much better at washing socks than me. Everything is earned. Earn it. I'll teach them more, but this is a start.
Okay, I give this post a 3 out of 10. There was some good advice, but most of it veiled behind just own insecurities and...
Looky here, we got homework. He's given us homework on his post. Fill in the blank. 18-year-old men need to know how to
break free from the ideas enforced to them as a child that their only value in this world is based on how much women pay attention to them and how much money they make. Oh, my comment got deleted.
Anniversary post from hell. Find yourself a Laura, 40 weeks pregnant and sick, working full-time to provide, while I make $0 as a young entrepreneur. Fast forward, pregnant with our second, taking care of our first, all while I battle a deep depression and self-attempts. I wouldn't be where I am, I wouldn't be who I am without her. She's strong, infinitely patient, and a personification of kindness. Oh, and she's hot, like, what? Happy anniversary, sweet baby child.
Mate, you can't describe your partner as hot and then also a sweet baby child so close together that you see how that paints a certain picture.
Ex-manager, fired for incompetence, celebrates the promotion of their former employee. Congratulations on your promotion. It took a while for some to see your potential. And remember, I had to convince a few people to put their unhelpful negativity to one side and give you the opportunity to settle in and develop. But I knew, even at interview, that you'd be amazing. My track record with hiring young talents while at Bread speaks for itself, and your success is another testament to that. Oh my god, that guy is just advertising. He's trying to promote himself. Wow, this is one of the more cringy and most insecure things I've ever seen. Let me throw some dirt on your accomplishment while simultaneously patting myself on the back for your success and hard work. You're welcome.
This is not the flex this person thinks it is.
The best flex is staying the frick off social media and just doing your job. How does one reach this level of delusion? A client emailed me saying, I was fired today. I replied saying, you weren't fired, you were promoted to entrepreneur. Now we can focus on helping her grow her business full time. Congratulate Deb Curtis on her promotion to entrepreneur.
You literally look like a parody when you pose like that for this quote.
You're not homeless, you just get to travel wherever you want.
How you really get ahead in the workplace.
Oh, no way. Really? There's gotta be something ethically wrong about this. Morally, maybe. I don't know which word I'm using here. Flirting can indeed be challenging if you're not naturally inclined towards it, but learning the art of flirting will take some time. It might be difficult to know what to say or how to make a good first impression, especially when trying to flirt with a male. Consider these 7 things to avoid when flirting with a guy.
Okay, I got curious again and looked up the link.
We gotta know, okay? We gotta find out if this person knows us men.
Okay, 1, make no mockery of him.
Fair enough.
2, don't become too emotional too soon.
Yeah, makes sense.
Don't boast about other people who like you.
Okay, there are so many female-led rom-coms that I feel like need to read this. 4, don't avoid making eye contact. The eyes are the window to the soul.
Look at me.
What?
Look at my eyes, boy.
Okay, why?
I must let you know that I am attracted to you, so look at me.
Okay.
7, show him consideration and respect.
Ew, no, gross.
Lunatic saddens to find himself here. So the post was titled, I'm legit getting secondhand embarrassment from this post. It's worse than rent a girlfriend.
I never imagined I would actually share something like this. Because I tend to ignore every kind of negative thing in my life. I like to just focus on good vibes as much as possible. But the fact is, this stuff happens. Hate fills the void of the internet, while mostly harmless.
Right, so you can laugh at yourself.
It was stuff that was said about me! There are pages of it out there. And so I have 2 points in this post. 1, it's not always easy being yourself out loud. I'd love to lie and say being authentic is easy peasy, but there's still bumps in the road. Of course, I try my best to just have good vibes and not have a care in the world. But I do care. I'm a friggin' people pleaser. 2. Be kind. It's okay to laugh at some of these comments. I laugh. It's even totally okay to think these things. I can be negative just as easy as anyone.
Okay, so you can laugh at this then. You don't find it a big deal how people are just kind of pointing out the audacity of how LinkedIn is as an environment. That's good. You know, that's...
But keep those mean comments to yourself. Even if that person isn't tagged or you think they'll never see your mean comment, even in the DMs, just don't degrade other people. It's not nice.
Again, and we're back to them clearly being upset by this. And look, that's fine. If you're being called out and, laughed at on the internet, it's fine to say, hey, this hurts to see. But it's another when you keep them just going back and forth between you not caring and then clearly caring. But I am going to give massive props to them for not giving us homework in the comments. Just signing off with a cheers. Thank you so much. It's a breath of fresh air. Yesterday, I just hired our first full-time inside sales rep for $6 an hour. Oh boy, let's hear them justify this as if they're in court. He'll be the first sales rep for the company and is ready to fully shake up the sales process, streamlining customer interactions, enhancing lead generation, optimizing CRM systems, and more. Yeah, he's that sharp. Finding proactive talents like him changes the growth of any business. Now, he doesn't come cheap. You see, you are paying him cheap. We're paying him well above the average in his home country, which is the Philippines. Oh, okay, so you're taking advantage of poorer countries' economy. Wow. Do you see how this does not at all really defend yourself? Nice. Now, to be exact, it's a premium rate, but at $6 to $10 an hour, the value is unbeatable. Why? He's got over 10 years of sales experience, and you think he's worth $6 an hour. No accent, no communication barriers, just pure skill. He's been in the trenches, knows the ins and outs of sales in America, and he's not just here to sell. He's our future team builder, the guy who'll train our next wave of sales stars, and the brain behind refining our sales engine to be more efficient than ever. Incredible. Someone who clearly seems like he should be worth the six figures is being treated like this. I'm taking advantage of poor economic conditions of another country to severely underpay and exploit foreign workers while at the same time moving job opportunities offshore so I can do it legally, and I'm really proud of it. In the US, this D-bag is literally breaking the law. Who would you rather date? A. Attractive American girl. Costs $500 per date. Sleepy father who has no control over her. B. Very, very attractive China girl. Alright, okay. Costs only $100 per date. Crazy psychotic father who can appear anytime and chop your duck off. What has this got to do with business? Ooh, but I gotta cover his spine for coming across as a misogynist. Note, if you're a girl reading this, replace girl with boy and replace psychotic father with a mother. Yeah. Tag the CEO so that he becomes aware of me. If there's one thing I want for my birthday this year, it's to connect with Cisco's CEO on LinkedIn. Social media is truly one of the most underutilized tools to provide value for the networking community, and I would love if he joined us along the way. Tag Chuck Robbins in the comments to see if we can make it happen. LinkedIn, do your thing. Once again, we're back to a post where they are making people that are following them, who are their coworkers and friends, to do work for them. And look, considering what social media is now with its hellscape of influences and consistent just advertisements and trends being dictated by companies themselves, no. Social media is not one of the most underutilized tools. It is overutilized now. Legislative aide for senator filmed OnlyFans video of himself hooking up in a Senate committee room to flex blame. Yes, I've seen this. Not the actual video, just, screenshots and articles talking about it. This has been a difficult time for me, as I have been attacked for who I love to pursue a political agenda. No, it's because you made love to them on someone's workspace, not in your bed. While some of my actions in the past have shown poor judgment, I love my job and would never disrespect my workplace. Oh, sorry, my hypocrisy meter, the readings. Wow, they're off the charts. Any attempts to characterize my actions otherwise are fabricated, and I will be exploring what legal options are available to me in these matters.
As for the accusations regarding Congressman Max Miller, I have never seen the congressman and had no opportunity or cause to yell or confront him. This CEO lunatic won't read your resume if you were at 2 or more companies in the last 2 years. Really? In the span of few years where a lot of people suddenly lost their jobs? My top criteria: how long they stick it out. If I see 2 or more roles with less than 2 years, I don't even read the resume. If I see 1 role with over 2 years, that's the first thing I ask about. Must be a very good reason. Anytime I ignored that rule, I regretted it. You see, I'm looking for doormats, sheep, people who would just follow what I say because they're afraid of standing up to me. The sad reality is that most people don't have what it takes to work in tech. Up at 4 a.m., post a pic of my 8 sleep in the group chat for sweet engagement. What? You rely on a group chat for your social media endorphins of engagement? Okay. Hit the gym, crush 8 jumping jacks. Wait, no, hang on. I gotta look this up to confirm. No, yep. Dude jumped up 8 times and considers that a feat that no one else could handle if they're working in tech. 35-minute cold plunge. Ripper My First Million episode at 2 times speed. Drink a bottle of Brian Johnson olive oil. Okay, so they enjoy making themselves suffer. Eat 4 bags of athletic greens powder. Feel sick. Power through. Open laptop. Knock out 7 to 8 emoji reactions to threads on Slack. Grab lunch. A second bottle of olive oil. Open Jira. Comment any updates on 3 tickets. Wind down for the day.
Okay, no, this man knows what he's doing. I'm loving this. This is beautiful.
Open Substack and resume writing part 4 of Problems with European Work Ethic, a San Francisco perspective. A banger that got 8 likes on Substack and 2 thumbs up in the group chat. Okay, well done, sir. I've been too charmed by all these posts in this video that I genuinely thought this person was legitimate, and you know what? I'm sure there are people out there like this. The final boss of the sales grind. One of the most important deals of my career closed on December 25th a few years ago. It was the morning of the 25th, and my prospect sent me an email asking for a quick connect. I figured it must be important if he was willing to do it on Christmas Day, so I jumped on. Months later, I found out that I was selected to win the deal because I was willing to do this call, while my competitor was not. All this to say, this is a relaxing time of the year. Enjoy it with your friends and family and unplug, but always be closing. Cheers, everyone. Hang on, let's go back a bit. Enjoy it with your friends and family and unplug, but also don't do that. Okay. Great advice. Please tell us any other wise words of wisdom you have. Perhaps if we want to make $1 million, we should get a job. Wow. I couldn't even fathom such a thought.